it's been, I did the math. It's been an entire month. It's going, by the time this comes out, it will have been an entire month since there was previously a podcast, because we did one the week before Christmas, and then there was Christmas week, and then there was New Year's week, and then we skipped last week, and here we are. We got a whole month of news, and surprisingly, not a lot happened over that last month.
Yeah, you've heard it here first. Nothing happened this past month.
Yeah. Not in the video game news sector anyway.
That's right. Nothing at all.
But welcome back, everybody, to the RageSelect podcast right here on RageSelect. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mike. And don't worry your pretty little heads.
Back in the saddle again. Boy, have I got a lot of AI news and memory prices and all that razzmatazz, but we also got a Resident Evil showcase.
Yes.
So
it turns out Skynet took over and made Resident Evil.
Yeah, it is completely full of shit that you cannot afford to buy. And just you wait.
Oh my God.
You're gonna be amazed.
Do they just sell a real chainsaw now that has the words Resident Evil attached to it?
You wish. If there was a real chainsaw, you could use it for something useful, like cutting down a tree or something. No, dude, you just wait. You thought Chris Redfield's jacket was bad?
Oh, now I have to find out.
Yeah.
Is it a night with Chris Redfield?
It's just a Chris Redfield body pillow. And it costs $2,000.
It's so realistic.
Yep. Anyway, before we get to that, let's see. We both probably watched and played a whole bunch of shit, but
we did. We watched quite a bit. Played quite a bit. But I have one specific thing. What
you got for me?
I saw a movie called "Is This Thing On?"
By the way, you guys, he loves this movie so much.
I really like this movie a lot. Well, I've been wanting. I was trying to get on the One of Us review for it because I've been following this thing for a while.
Yeah.
And I was unable to get on the review for it.
Yeah.
And so I was bummed, and I'm like, well, I don't know when this is going to come out at any point. Luckily, it came out last weekend, and it's about a couple who decide to split. They're still on the fence on getting divorced throughout the movie, but the movie starts with them deciding to split. And the guy decides, the guy's played by Will Arnett, and the woman's played by Laura Dern. And Will Arnett decides he's just going to go get drunk because he's depressed that his life feels like it's falling apart.
Yeah.
But it's more just his relationship because everything else seems to be fine. And so he ends up in an open mic night and finds it therapeutic in a way. And so he starts going regularly and becoming friends with the comedians, and they start like helping him out and shit.
Yeah.
As while that's going on, his wife is going through the fact that she's like, well, I gave up a lot to raise my kids. And they're old enough, and I feel like maybe I should start pursuing what I did before, which she used to be in the volleyball, like Olympic volleyball. So she wants to go back to coaching, and so it's this like back and forth, like almost baton passing sometimes. Because he'll be like, "Here's the kids," and it'll cut back to him.
This sounds like the movie equivalent of taking fiber supplements and stretching before you go to bed. Like,
well, the thing is, it's a really nice like exploration of just like, what it takes to be in a good relationship, as well as like the things that you should just do for yourself.
Sure.
Like it's a lot of just like do things for yourself is kind of what the idea is, because he ends up really enjoying it and she ends up having some stuff. But it is pretty funny at times because it is what is considered a dramedy.
Okay.
Because he has like one friend who's played by Bradley Cooper, who directed the movie, who's this weird eccentric actor man who is clearly like super on drugs. And like there's this great scene where he's talking to him and he asks him the question and he goes, yeah, what did she say? No, I'm asking you what she said. But what did she say? I'm like, what are you doing? I'm asking you what she said. And this goes on for like a good 3 minutes.
Okay.
and there's another point where he's talking to Bradley Cooper and he's holding a dog. And he's just like, what are you doing, man? He's like, I didn't know I was holding the dog.
Okay.
But it's a really fun film. It's like I said, but it is a dramedy. It was just the only thing I'll warn people about. Even it's more BoJack Horseman than Arrested Development. Will Arnett basically is the best way of explaining. Like, the tone.
Like I'm just watching this trailer with no sound on, and I can already tell you what kind of movie this is. Where they're shooting everybody. Not everybody looks kind of regular, and we're just doing a lot of like talking, and middle-aged people are talking about stuff, and like, hey, nothing wrong with that. Like,
it's not like a big expensive movie. Like this probably didn't cost them that much to make.
Yeah.
And it very much feels like everything is realistically done.
Yeah.
There's never a moment where he becomes a comedian. They're going like, "You're going to be on the Tonight Show tomorrow."
Sure.
It's like, no, he's just some fucking who walked into an open mic night and has been doing it for a while.
Okay.
Like that's kind of all it comes down to. Like there's never a moment where he's like, "I'm going to quit my job and pursue comedy." He's like, "No, this is just the thing that I like doing."
Well, fair enough. I feel like this is the polar opposite of what I watched last week.
It probably is.
I finally got around to watching Predator Badlands that they put out on VOD, which everybody wouldn't shut up about last year. And I don't know. I feel like I'm I have a really mixed relationship with Predator, where I'm like,
most people do.
Really, the first movie is the only Predator movie that I really give a shit about. Like, Prey was okay. It was okay.
I have a soft spot in my heart for Predator 2.
Predator 2 is garbage.
Because I like watching Danny Glover get into fights with the Predator.
No, I know. And like, I get that and everything.
It's bad.
But
I'm not going to pretend it's a good movie.
Gary Busey is a federal agent. I mean, come on, man. Like,
look, I would believe Gary Busey's a federal agent now.
And then there was all the AVPs. I hated all those.
Oh, they're all terrible. Except for the games.
I watched the Predators, and everybody seemed to like that. And
that one's okay.
I didn't like that. I thought it was stupid. I don't really like Adrian Brody that much, and I was like, fuck this bullshit. Mm-hmm. I liked this movie quite a bit. And I realized about 30 minutes in that I had been like all clenched up and kind of only half watching it. Like I was like, okay, Predator, you've hurt me enough times. I don't want to get hurt again. Especially because this movie starts out with like on the Predator planet with predators talking to each other about Predator society. And I was like, this is the exact thing that I don't want. The more you explain the Predators, the less interesting they are to me, because I don't want to know like what they do on the weekends. I don't want to like...
Well, look, Jeff, what if they were a Na'vi type society?
No, fuck off. Like, it was more interesting when it was just like this invisible thing that was fucking up those roided out mercenaries.
That first movie's so good.
And then later on, they're just like, oh no, they have a very honorable culture of blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to give a fuck about the fucking alien culture. Fuck you, man. Just pick a different time period and make Predator again if that's what you must do. But in spite of that, this movie... I couldn't stop watching it. I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And part of it, I don't think it's been... Okay, listen, the movie's out on VOD. It's been on the theater. This is not a huge spoiler because it's in the first 10 minutes of the movie. The Predator in Predator Badlands is a garbage predator. He's not good at being a predator. Like,
he's bad at this.
He's a bad predator. And I'm like, oh, so this is like a coming of age... / I'm getting good at the thing. It's like your movie with the open mic comedy night, except it's about hunting alien monsters instead of going to the open mic. And then he makes some new friends. He hangs out. He does some Predator stuff, and he's got to kill a bunch of things. And they drag all the Weyland-Yutani stuff in, which I think was good. Yeah, it was just it was an hour. It was like an hour and 50 minutes or something, and I realized. Usually, some movies when I'm watching, I keep pausing to see how long it's been, and if it's been 30 minutes, I'll go smoke a cigarette. And this one, it was like, wait, how long has it been? It's like 50 minutes. Oh shit, I gotta take a break. Like, so I thought it was good. I thought it was probably the best Predator movie I've seen since the first one, but that's a very low bar. So
I want to ask you something that people have said about it a lot.
Okay.
Which is they think it would make a really good video game because of what you said, which is that he starts off as a shitty predator, almost like being dropped in like a Far Cry-ass situation, and then by the end of it, he's like unlocked all the unlocks and is like fucking the shit up type of thing.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, I could see it working as I could see it working as a video game. I don't know that I would want to play that video game. But,
I've heard people say they would love to, but I've heard only great fun things about Badlands.
Yeah, it actually makes me want to go back and watch the animated thing because it was the same guy. Did,
that's right. I forgot that even came out.
Killer of Killers anthology, which I also heard good things about. But again, I fucking put my hand on that stove way too many times to be like, oh well, it's probably off this time. Yeah, it'll be fine.
That's the problem with Predator because I'm reading the Marvel got a hold of the Predator Alien stuff. So there's storylines of like X versus Alien or whatever. Right now, there's Captain America versus Aliens, which that one I actually like.
Yeah.
But they did an Avengers versus Aliens that I didn't like at all. And then they did a Wolverine versus Predator that I really liked. And then they did a Spider-Man versus Predator that I thought was dumb.
Okay.
And now they're doing like a Predator kills the Marvel Universe thing, where it's like a bunch of predators just killing everybody. I'm like, well, this is just stupid.
Yeah.
But that's usually happens with those types of things. So it's like, I'm interested. Like, Predator is definitely one of those things that's like, I love the idea of this, but no one really knows what to do with it most of the time. And I'm glad that this movie did something at least a little newer with it.
The thing that I think this movie got right, sorry, it's been a while, I'm going to get back to the thing about this movie that I think it did right was instead of trying to say, look how cool Predator society is, which I feel like some of the other movies have tried to do, it was like, okay, here's your Predator, he's your main character, he's got a problem, he's going to this planet. By the end of the movie, he solved the problem. He grew, he changed, he solved the problem, and now he's better for it. And along the way, he did a bunch of stuff. And I also found it really weird that there's both, a good Predator movie and a good Aliens TV show at the same time. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, those two franchises have had garbage movie after garbage movie.
Alien-wise, it's obvious what happened.
Yeah.
Every time Ridley Scott makes a new one, it's like, well, this is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Because that man doesn't really know what he's doing.
Like, I thought Romulus was okay. Like, it was a 6.5 out of 10.
And that one wasn't made by him.
Yeah.
But, like, it's clear that he was, like, in charge of something in that, because that movie gets real stupid real fast.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie kind of already knows it's stupid from the get-go. Like, and I don't mean the movie's dumb. Like, I mean, like, the entire premise of this world is not Shakespeare type of thing. The way that Ridley Scott keeps trying to do with Prometheus and Prometheus type movies.
Sure.
And this movie is like, well, fuck that. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah. But no, it was pretty good. Also, the main character spends a lot of time with somebody who's been chopped in half on their back, like Yoda. And I was like, how the fuck did that guy carry her around? Did that guy carry Elle Fanning around through this entire fucking shoot? Because, she's like bouncing around and saying stuff. And I'm like, sounds like a nightmare of CGI.
Yeah, like her legs probably just have the thing on it or whatever.
I guess
to hide her legs CGI wise. But that means he was carrying a grown person on their back, a fully grown person, not a half a person this whole time.
Yeah. Anyway, it was good. I think that, if you like that franchise, I think it's worth checking out. It's right now, it's currently on the buy it for $25 on Amazon. I don't think it's that good. I think it's on the guys, wait for a month and this thing will be on some streaming service.
I think it's supposed to be coming to something streaming soon if it hasn't already.
Yeah. And
I want to say it's going to come on Amazon or something. I can't remember.
And yeah, I don't know. It was, again, in spite of me kind of not wanting to watch it or being very gun shy about it, it ended up winning me over.
No, I get it.
By about as good as it could.
Again, Predator... Aliens has more good than bad, whereas Predator has always had more bad than good.
Yep.
Which is why when anything new Predator comes out, you can't be like, well, do you remember Predator 1, I guess? It's like that's the only time anything you could say about it for a while.
Plus, I don't know. It's like, it's kind of like, I know that you and I have different thoughts about this, but for me, it's kind of like Ghostbusters, where it's like, hey, there's new Ghostbusters, and I keep going, why the fuck wouldn't I just watch the first Ghostbusters? It's like an all-time classic. It's a 10 out of 10. I love it so much. What does this new thing have? Paul Rudd? Take your Stranger Things kids and your Paul Rudd. Get the fuck out of my house. I want to watch Peter Venkman fucking sexually make really inappropriate comments to Sigourney Weaver in her own house.
Which is fair. I love all the Ghostbusters, sort of.
Danny Glover is fine and everything, but I want to watch fucking 3 pro wrestlers and an Austrian bodybuilder get chopped up in the jungle,
and also have an end credits that for some reason looks like the intro to Full House or something.
Right.
Which is my favorite meme.
anyway, that's enough of that. Let's get on. Speaking of getting chopped up and looking like a bodybuilder. No, there's no bodybuilders, but there's some chopping up.
Maybe Jess Ventura is going to be Resident Evil. Who knows?
Resident Evil showcase. What was it, like 3 or 4 podcasts ago? There was a rumor that Leon was going to be in the game.
Yeah, and then they announced it at the Game Awards.
Yeah, and then I was mad because I didn't report on that because I was like, well, that's a spoiler. And then at the Game Awards, they're like, Leon, and I'm like, oh, okay, all right, fine, whatever. So this one showed off a lot of Leon. It was a whole lot of Leon.
They showed that he hangs dong.
No.
Sorry, that's my first thought when you said shows a lot of Leon.
So it looks like the director talks about, like, you can't really make it a scary horror game with Leon because Leon's a fucking badass now, right?
Yeah, the problem with it is that you've made sure that Leon is the coolest action man possible.
Yes.
You've already established that.
Yes.
You can't untake it back.
Yep.
Especially in a game setting.
And so they're kind of splitting it. They want Grace's parts to be tense because she's not a fucking BOW super soldier.
Yeah.
And then they want to use Leon. And I gotta be honest, Michael, I watched this footage of Leon, and it's like they took RE4 Leon and cranked it way up. Way up. Like the amount of blood and like fucking wrestling moves, and like you haven't even seen it, but there's a part in this where they show like Leon can pick up weapons that the enemies have dropped. So like a guy comes at him with a chainsaw and he shoots him, and then he picks up the chainsaw and uses it to cut another zombie in half.
Oh my god.
Like he's got this hatchet where he can do like these reversals and melee attacks, and it looks like it doesn't even break. It just gets like less sharp, and you could sharpen it up. And also, I don't know about you, but
whoa.
like,
sorry.
Yeah.
So for people don't know, he just fucking
Put a shotgun in a woman's mouth and then blew her brains out.
Full on execution.
There seems like there's more blood here than I've seen in any Resident Evil game to date.
Or even any of the trailers they've done till now.
Yeah, like, you know, it's always like there's a little bit of blood, but like maybe it's because he's in a white like hospital environment shooting a bunch of doctors and nurses, but like fucking that place is painted, man.
So this is like he mentions this is after 6,
post 6,
which again he was a badass in 6.
Yep.
So you can't take away the fact he was a badass.
He already
at that
fought
point.
the President Evil. He already got a blowjob from that giraffe or whatever.
That's exactly what happened.
But yeah, it looks like they're really leaning into like RE4 action Leon, but even more so. They also talk about, it's kind of interesting that the zombies in the Grace section like retain some of their humanity, so they'll be doing things like they show like a zombie, like a maid that's still trying to clean even though they're a zombie, and like a chef that's still trying to chop stuff up even though they're a zombie.
I kind of like that idea because it means if the T virus itself is still around, that means it's just mutating. Like they're close to the way zombies are at the end of Shaun of the Dead, kind of is the idea.
Right.
And I think that's really fun.
Then like 28 days later, zombies. But so yeah, but I just like I cannot emphasize enough that like the Leon parts. I mean, and I don't want this to come off as a complaint. This looks badass.
No,
like, I totally want to play this game.
It's obvious that they're like, look, we failed at Resident Evil 6's action like adventure thing.
Yeah.
Because we took the horror out of Resident Evil. And they're like, what if we did both?
Yeah.
Like, what if we actually decided to do both correctly this time around?
Yeah, so
because it's like I've always loved the idea of badass like Resident Evil stuff.
Yeah.
But I've also loved the idea of horror stuff. Like, and being able to do both of them with a good reason is a really fun idea.
Yeah. The only thing I worry about is, you know, sometimes you get some tonal dissonance, but you know what? That's I shouldn't even really talk about that because Village was like that. Village had really intense like action parts and then really creepy parts as well. So I feel like they've been trying to split the difference with those. I mean, you know, to be honest, they tried to do that with Resident Evil 6 and it didn't work. But
no, because Resident Evil 6, they're like, well, each one is going to be like its own thing.
Right.
And you did, and they're like, well, all of these are just the same.
Yeah.
Except for the one where you karate killed zombies, which I did a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But like, it wasn't really Resident Evil at that point because there weren't even really zombies. You were basically fighting the lizard at one point,
right?
Type of thing. Like, it just got less interesting over time.
They really leaned into the super OP monster guys. Apparently, Grace can also use that giant ass handgun that Leon has, which is basically like the Magnum that you have at the end of every Resident Evil game with all the ammo that you've hoarded. They show her shooting through like 2 zombies and they just fucking turn into soup.
Yeah, it also looks like that should break her wrist every time she does that.
Oh, absolutely.
Holy shit.
They've also got something new in the crafting system where you can use zombie blood to craft like one-hit melee weapons, like as Grace, where they show the character making this little hemolytic injector, and then I wasn't ready for this, Michael, and then they show him doing like a stealth kill, and when they inject into the zombie, he just fucking explodes into a blood cloud.
I was expecting like maybe his head to explode or something. I didn't expect him to turn into blood.
Yeah. He's just a giant cloud of blood.
That was a magic trick, is what that was.
I think we knew this before. Either character can be played in first or third person, and you can switch between them at any time. It looks like by default they're going to want you to play the Grace parts in first and the Leon parts in third.
That's honestly, that's how I would want to do it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, because that's the scariest. The scariest the Resident Evil 7s and 8s is purely because it's in first person.
Yes.
Type of thing. Like, I remember when they added the Ethan third person stuff to 8.
Right.
I was like, I don't think I really care for this.
Yeah. They do talk about how on like harder difficulty levels you'll have to get ink ribbons to save in Grace's section specifically.
Oh, okay.
And that was kind of mostly what they showed. And then they went into the fucking product placement. So Leon drives a special Porsche. That Porsche made for Resident Evil, and they talk about it.
Is that an SUV Porsche?
It looks like a fucking hatchback. It looks like some kind of. It looks like it's not like a sports car. It's some kind of SUV, fucking Subaru Outback looking motherfucker.
Well, it's like the Mach E Mustangs is what they're called. The Mach E's are like it's a Mustang, but it's also like kind of a hatchback SUV thing. And I'm like, no, I hate that. I'm not a fan. They're all over the fucking roads out there, but it looks like Porsche made their own version of that.
They did,
which is so fucking weird.
The Cayenne GT Turbo. And let's be honest. We've seen what the game looks like, Michael. There's not going to be any driving segments in this game. This is going to be the car that Leon pulls up to the place that you spend the entire game in, right? Like, it's going to be the very beginning of the game when Leon is driving to the Raccoon City. They're going to show this car, and then he's going to get there.
You're going to look really stupid when he has to do a Fast and Furious race against the zombie.
Right. And then they also talked about how they got this like super fucking fancy watchmaker to make the watch that both Leon and Grace both have fancy watches made by this company called Hamilton.
I'm going to ask you real quick. What do they do for a living to make for these watches? They're clearly on the take, is what I'm saying. Especially Leon, because come on, fuck you.
I mean, and there's like they're making 2,000 of each of these, and they're going to be available on the day the game comes out. And fucking okay,
I'll laugh if they don't sell.
Sure,
because who needs a watch?
You know what? They always seem to sell. I bet they sold those Chris Redfield jackets that were like $2,500 and had no buttons on them.
Yeah.
I don't know. People got money, and then they talk about the deluxe edition. We've kind of heard about this. It's weird that there's a Lady Dimitrescu costume for Grace that's very strange looking.
Yeah, they make her look really weird.
And then there's also just like Leon's got a suit. Leon looks like he's in the Turks or something. Like,
I think it's supposed to be his secret service outfit.
Maybe,
possibly.
I don't know. There's a lot of other.
It's his pose though when he's in the image that makes it look really like he's in the Turks. Though.
If they're dressing up Grace like she's one of the Resident Evil villains, they could have had like a Nemesis outfit for Leon or like a Mr. X outfit where there's like he's got a suit. But this is like you go back to RE5 where Shiva had like a bikini and then Chris had like fucking more body armor or something.
That was very funny when they did that.
So,
but they give him his Resident Evil 4 outfit too. I think in that image they show.
Oh yeah, with the jacket,
I
the
can't
bomber
tell
jacket.
What the third one is supposed to be, but
I think this is what he looks. I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know why he gets 3 outfits and she only gets 2 though.
She has a pre-order outfit that's
she has a pre-order.
called Great Apocalypse that I think is based on the fucking Mila Jovovich from one of those stupid movies.
I think it's from one of the movies.
So that's a whole thing.
It does accidentally kind of make her look like Nathan Drake from Uncharted 3 though.
Yeah. They announced it's going to be on GeForce Now. Which, like, considering they use this as a way to show off the new RTX 4.5 stuff, apparently, like, you can play it on GeForce Now on the fucking 5090s at 6,000 frames per second with a billion AI generated frames or whatever the fuck.
Aren't they like limiting the amount of time you could use it to or whatever though?
Not if you pay for it.
Okay.
They also have statues. Apparently, they've done these for all of them. Because when they were talking about it, they like the Grace and Leon statues have a shared base that like fits together into one statue. But then they show like other statues from the other games. So I'm sure this is just a thing that they've done previously.
Yeah.
They also announced a Switch 2 Pro controller, and they're also going to make some kind of amiibo. They didn't say what it is, but some kind of amiibo. And then they also said that Resident Evil 7 and Village are both going to be released on the Switch 2, same day as 9.
Okay, so you can get all 3 at once. That's fun.
And then they're also doing in-person concerts because it's a 30-year anniversary. So
that would be kind of cool but I don't know a lot about their music enough to want to go to one.
Yeah. So that was kind of it. Like, that was kind of the deal. Like, you know what? I don't even know if they're selling that Porsche, so I might have been a little overzealous. But
here's the thing: that Porsche exists.
I'm sure that watch is going to be like $6,000 or something. So.
Well, the guy mentioned something about like being able to 3D print stuff that was the customizations on it.
Yeah.
So technically, you could buy. They're probably saying you could buy the car and then make the things.
Okay, sure. If you really want that, if you got that much money, they probably would just make it for you,
pretty
give it
much,
to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, but hey, February 27th, we're like just about a month away from
honestly,
the new Resident Evil game.
I wish I was rich enough to walk into a Porsche place going, "Give me the Leon Kennedy Porsche."
Give me the Leon Kennedy.
And somebody, a poor salesman who doesn't know anything about Resident Evil, going, "What the fuck is happening?"
I gotta walk in there with my Chris Redfield jacket with my baby head and be like, "Give me that Porsche." Give me that Porsche.
Just carrying the statues with me.
Yeah.
They're going to be on my hood.
You know what? I don't want to curse it. I don't want to curse it, Michael. Resident Evil has been on a streak for me. I've liked everything they've put out since they did 7.
Yeah.
Even the remakes of 2 and 3 and 4.
Except for the phone game thing.
Oh, except. Well,
then,
any of the online, any of the phone games.
Yeah, any of the online phone game multiplayer things.
I don't even count those anymore because they're never online for more than a year.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't even remember how long that last one lasted.
Yeah. So, but this is pushing the Resident Evil, the actual mainline Resident Evil story past 6.
Yes.
Which is interesting because like the Ethan stuff was very much its own storyline, like special appearances by Leon and Chris, but it didn't really have anything really to do with Leon or Chris.
But yeah, it was almost like a surprise that Umbrella had anything to do with it.
Yeah, Leon shows up at the end of 7. It was crazy. He's like, "I'm Leon Kennedy. I'm with the Umbrella organization." You're like, "What?" It
was a very confusing time. But and then after 6, like, we were just worried that they would never do anything with Leon again.
Yeah.
Especially because that game was just so fucking bad.
Yeah. Well, you know, they had 7 to take the stink off of it, and then they went back to remakes. And so this is the first time that we're seeing a non-remake with, you know...
It's also cool to, like, go back to Raccoon City post the nuke.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of a fun idea to show that, like, it's almost like going back to Chernobyl in feeling, if that makes sense.
Sure.
So I'm excited to see exactly what that has to do with Leon overall.
And I couldn't be happier with the way the RE engine has made this franchise look as opposed to in previous stuff. It's Michael, it's weird. It's weird. I was just talking about Predator and Aliens and how they're good, and now we're living in a world where there's good Resident Evil and good Silent Hill. I'm like, what is happening? What is this world?
It's very strange that that's where we're at now, and then we're getting game franchises that people love that are now considered bad,
right?
Like the Call of Duties, and stuff like that.
Call of Duty is bad and Silent Hill is good. What?
Yeah, very strange. We live in a very confusing times.
Yep. All right. We've got about 15 minutes left. how much AI can we fit into those 15 minutes? Ask ChatGPT.
Like how you took my joke.
Okay, so we do have a whole month worth of stuff, and a lot of this is going to be going back a little ways because this is back in December.
So this is something, before we start, during the Game Awards, my friend couldn't stop saying basically what ended up happening here, which I didn't know was a thing until he was telling me about it.
Okay,
and then this happened.
Well, let's roll it down. There was an independent Indie Game Awards, which was just a little gaming show, which gave their Game of the Year to Clair Obscur Expedition 33, and then rescinded that. And the reason that they did that was because they say that they have a very no exceptions rule against using AI in their games. And this was known a long time ago, where when Clair Obscur launched, there was like a few textures in the game that were obviously done with AI. They patched it out. We saw that story happen a bunch of times last year, where it's like, company put in a placeholder image, it was fucked up. The alters, I guess, did that thing. It's been a few others, and then they took it out and they were like, "We're really sorry."
A lot of them also like come down to like concept art in during the process.
I actually looked this up because I was like, "Well, I want to know what it is," and it's like, there's a thing on the street that has like newspaper wrapped around it. And instead of like the newspaper, it was like a generated thing. And I couldn't find anything else, any other screenshots of AI stuff. So they came out and said
I heard it was mostly concept art's background stuff. So was what I was told.
Apparently they were asked when they signed up for the awards, or when they were considered for the awards, Sandfall was asked, was there any AI used in the creation of this game? And they were like, no. And then they said, well, here's proof that there was AI used in the creation of this game, so we're taking your awards away and we're giving them to, I think, Blueprints.
He's like, there's no AI in this, even though these are Krusty Burgers that were clearly
now, the thing is that, I'm going to be very clear, I'm going to be very upfront here. I really don't think that any award shows are any good, but like this award show, they 100% like have internal ethical guidelines that they decide whether or not you're allowed to do.
Yeah, like, they're allowed to come up with their specific rule set, and their rule set was like, hey, don't fucking lie to us about AI.
Well, and see, the thing is, there was another game that got rescinded that was like this game that was, what was the name of it? It was a Game Boy game that somebody made, and the thing is that it was allowed to be played on the thing is that it was played on this thing that's called the Anduril Chromatic. That's like a Palmer Luckey.
It's called Chanty. Is that what that says?
Yes, handheld thing, and Palmer Luckey's company does defense contracting, and so they were like, we don't want to recognize anybody that has any connection to that sort of behavior, and so they took it away, even though they were like, we still think the game is okay, but like we just don't want to put a focus on that. I kind of think you put maybe a little bit more focus on it when you take the award away, but
I didn't realize the reason they took it away was that they're saying that the game, they're making physical game cartridges,
yes,
but they're being made by people who also co-own a arms dealing weapon manufacturer.
Yes.
It's like, wow, that's an interesting thing, that connection I've never expected.
Also, there's another little thing here where it's like, so one of the games that got awards from this show was The Root Trees Are Dead. I don't know. Are you familiar with The Root Trees Are Dead?
Not that I can think of.
It was like a kind of a Golden Idol thing where you had like a family tree. You were trying to put names on the family tree with all these like things.
I think we saw the trailer for that.
Yeah. I played it with Tessa. It was great. It was very hard. Bryce loves it. But that game originally was the same game. It was all AI assets. And they released that game and sold it. And then when they got backlash for it, they took it down. They hired artists to make all of those assets over again. And then they re-released the game with original assets, which you say, well, does that count as AI? Like if they took, so you say, well, they took all of them out, but like so did Sandfall.
Sandfall, yeah.
Like I don't know.
And so has a few other like people who've gotten the same backlash.
Anyway, I went a little bit down a hole on this. Sandfall's statement on this is that around 2022, like way before this was a thing that we were talking about, when it was early on, they had a small group internally that did some experimentation about how they might be able to use AI for development tools. They said they tried it. They said they didn't like it, and then they just stopped using it. But that there was this one texture that just accidentally didn't get subbed out before the game launched. Now, whether you believe that or not, like a lot of people are very skeptical about this.
I can feel skeptical about it, but I can also see somebody just forgetting they even did it with AI.
Yep.
Especially if it's like one random ass thing in a huge fucking game.
Yep.
Because that game's visuals are they're already all over the place. So, like, it would be hard to even... I would have a hard time being like, as any of this AI type of thing with it, because it's so surreal to begin with.
Yes. I also think that there's a little bit more nuance, and this is a thing that I think sometimes we have trouble with on the internet. If they were experimenting with this in 2022, let's be honest, nobody had as strong of feelings in 2022 about AI and generative AI as they do now.
Absolutely not. And my friend was super upset about them winning so many awards.
Yeah.
Because he just kept bringing up the AI thing, and I was just like, I didn't know that even happened.
Yeah.
Type of thing. And he kept saying it was mostly concept art stuff, and I was like, well, what's the problem at that point, in my opinion? Because in my opinion, if you're using it for concept art stuff, it's more just like getting ideas. Because some people are bad at explaining things to people. Like I had to do, when I did film course stuff, I had to explain to somebody what I was thinking, and I was trying to explain it to me, and they looked at me like I had three heads.
Sure.
And I feel like ChatGPT or whatever these things have a way of letting you generate something, going, can you make something like this, but like do your own thing, but like just this sort of general idea.
Sure.
I think that's, in my opinion, that's probably what happened in the beginning.
Maybe.
And probably is still what's happening even now with a lot of those concept arts.
I mean, the thing is that, like, I talked about it a little bit a few podcasts back, which means like a month and a half ago. People, you've seen white boxing, right?
Yes.
This is where you have a video game.
White people box, like Little Mac.
That's right. This is where you have footage of a video game, and it's like they're just running around in a big white grid with white boxes and no textures. The idea that you could gin up textures to wrap around those to just get a better idea of how this is going to look before you... Because you could, like, dedicate resources to making all that, task your art department with making those textures, put it all together, and then go, oh, shit, that doesn't work. Like, we have to throw that away. We have to do something else.
Yeah.
I get it. I get both sides of this thing, man. I really do. Like, I'm very on the fence because I can think of some legitimate uses for it, and I can also think of, I think that they're, and then I can also just read the news and see all the ways that it's being garbage. In fact, I got like 7 more tabs that are just garbage. So
that's the thing about AI at the moment, is that AI is okay. AI is the way dynamite was. Somebody made dynamite because the guy who invented dynamite, I think it's the guy who made the guy who made the Nobel Peace Prize, actually. He did it because his brother died in like a excavation thing or something. Like he was a miner.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I want to make a way that makes it easier to break down rock, essentially.
Right.
So he created dynamite. You're like, great. Dynamite is a great, useful tool. And then somebody went, let's murder everyone with it.
Right.
And it's like, well, that's not what I wanted it for.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but that's what we're going to use it more for.
Yeah.
And that's what AI is, basically. Somebody's like, well, this would be kind of cool to do this. And somebody's like, let's murder everything with it.
The other big one that we have is Larian. Right before we wrapped up, it was like they announced Divinity, and then there was this big thing where they talked about using AI tools. Sven Vinke has been fucking trying to talk his way out of this. I think he just shut the fuck up and like do whatever.
I think somebody finally got to him. They locked his armor down.
Yeah. But so this was like further clarification. There was a lot of clarification here where he's talking about like kind of what you said, making concept art, but training the model on only internal Larian Studios concept art to then spit out something else. This, I think, was also the one where they were talking about how, like, they, like, their writer was like, we tried to use ChatGPT to generate placeholder dialogue, and what we found out was that it was so much worse than our head writers, like, crappiest banging it out in 5 minutes writing, that we were like, okay, we can't even use that for placeholder. Like, that's garbage.
It's always just nonsense. It's the thing. A lot of people think that this is the thing about AI, is that people think can be used. it's like when you watch a movie when they're like, technology can do anything.
Right.
If you give a 12-year-old a computer, they can hack the largest fucking Hydron whatever.
Right.
It's like, well, no, realistically, that's not what that is at all. People, for some reason, this is the reason why AI is both hailed, but also the reason why people seem to think that it's just is taking even more jobs than it actually is because they think everyone thinks it's more powerful than it actually is.
Maybe. I mean, the thing is, I have no idea because it's all so fucking secretive that it's like, companies are like, we're going to fire 400 people and replace them with ChatGPT. And I'm like, what were they doing? And how are you replacing them? Like, I don't understand. Another thing they talk about now, see, here's one that I think is actually worthwhile is cleaning up motion capture data. Right? Like you film motion capture, and then generally you need somebody to look through all that motion capture data and just readjust things when they get slightly off in a certain place. And the idea of using a machine learning tool to do that, I think that sounds like a very good use for that. Like as opposed to making somebody, even if you pay them, like making somebody sit in front of a computer for 2 weeks, moving dots around for 12 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even care if you pay me well. I just be like, I have to go. I have to leave this planet and never return.
That's major burnout for anybody.
Yeah.
Like I find myself doing tedious things sometimes, long periods of time.
Yeah.
If I'm listening to something, but that's only like once in a while.
Yeah.
If that was my job, I would be like, no, I'm good.
Well, and also, don't get me wrong. Like I've had projects before, art projects and other like sometimes coding stuff where it's like, I don't mind manually editing 1,000 cells in an Excel spreadsheet, but I also realize that I'm weird like that.
Yeah.
Most people go crazy when they do that, and I'm just like, well, I'm going to put Dr. Robert by the Beatles on repeat and listen to it for 6 hours while I do this one repetitive task. Whereas most people are like, I would light myself on fire if you even suggested that I do that.
My boss is always surprised when I did stuff like that, because there's this one thing he's like, this is super tedious, and I'm just like, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And he was always surprised that I never like lost my shit. Where everyone who had did it before me gave up like a year into doing that, and I did it for 4 years straight.
Yeah.
Before they took it away from me for some reason.
Hand me a chunk of data. But so anyway, they're still going with that. I think that it's going to kind of come down to, like, so with Larian, they're saying, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with this story. Larian has been saying that, like, we're not replacing anybody. We're not laying anybody off. We are dedicated to not laying people off. And what we're trying to do is use this technology, figure out if there is a way to use this technology to streamline things so we can have people spend more time, like, writing good dialogue as opposed to moving dots around on a screen for 8 hours a day.
He just wants to free up time that would be better used on other things.
Yes.
And like even the art stuff, because even Across the Spider-Verse used the same idea where apparently they took a lot of their art and just threw it into like a machine learning tool thing to try to generate like some more bombastic stuff that's just based on what they're already doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion, overall, outside of, the things that everybody brings up every now and then.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that they're doing it maliciously. They're just trying to free up time for other people to do even more complicated things that you can't use AI for.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. I've kind of come down to this as like, I really do understand why people don't like it, but it's like you had it perfectly with the dynamite example. Yeah. It's a tool, and it turns out that there's a lot of people who are just like, let's use it for evil, and people are like, yeah, and I'm just like, wait, hold on, there's all these good things you could be doing with that aren't evil. And they're like, shut up, nerd, we're using this for evil. Starting tomorrow, everyone's fired. Fuck you, people. And I'm like,
that's the thing that it comes down to is somebody immediately was like, but what if it was evil?
Right.
Like it's ridiculous. Like it's the stupidest thing about the whole thing.
It's maybe a fucking Luddite. That's what I hate about it. It's like, Michael, I spent $35 on a Chinese iPod because I want a device that can't connect to the internet that just plays music into my ears. I don't want to accidentally open Reddit or a news website. I just want to listen to music without being tempted to open up a web browser or get an alert that something happened happened.
You know what it also accidentally reminds me of is that part in Small Soldiers where like we have one action figure set, but we need like bad guys for them.
Yeah.
And David Cross made these characters that are supposed to be these lovable, like nice, peaceful things. They're like, they're the evil ones now. He's like, but it's not what I made them for. No, they're the bad guys now. He's like, well, fuck this.
Yeah. And you know what? We're not even done yet. So, but we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we've got a bunch more AI stuff to talk about.
We'll be replaced with AI after this. There'll be an AI me and Jeff.
Oh, no. See, I don't even want to do that, man, because what if it works?
I don't think it's
What if I put myself out of a job? That's stupid. I fired myself to cut costs to RageSelect.com. Now I can run it for $10. I just closed the Patreon, and it's all just AI now. AI Michael and AI Jeff, and it's infinite. You can make us talk about whatever you want for as long as you want.
A really weird dojo where somebody's going to start accusing us of being AI.
Oh, boy. Boo. We'll be right back. Boo. And we're back. And Michael, I'm afraid it's like we exited the AI highway there for a quick minute. Now we're just getting on the on-ramp at the same exit. So
I was trying to come up with a Chat GPT joke to say. Yeah. I don't use Chat GPT, so I don't know how they talk. So I'm not going to use that joke.
I don't know how to say an M- in real life.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got a few more updates. One is that Meta has shut down a number of different game studios that were making games for them in order to pivot away to AI and wearables from making games for the Meta Quest 3. I mentioned this because one of them was Twisted Pixel, which has been around for a long time. They made that... They made that Deadpool game, but I will always remember Twisted Pixel as the makers of Splosion Man and Missplosion Man and The Maw and Loco Cycle from back in the Xbox 360 arcade days.
I met a bunch of them actually during when South by first did their gaming thing.
Yeah,
they were the only devs there because it was like the funniest thing is when with the very first one they did, I can't remember the name of it anymore. I think it was called Screenburn. I think that was the name of it.
Yeah,
the very first one they did looked like when your friend makes a convention and he's able to get like fucking this one guy who was in the background of a Star Trek movie or something.
Spill.con? Is that what
yeah, kind of. Sure. It looks like it looked like it was in a gym essentially.
Yeah.
And they had a booth and the bunch of them were there and they had like statues of Explosion Man and stuff.
Oh, okay.
It was the first time I'd ever met Game Nose at the time.
Yeah.
Because I was very young at this point, and so I got to meet them there. I didn't know they're the ones who made. It never even occurred to me they're the same fucking people who made those games.
Yep.
And they did the Resident Evil.
No, that's a different one. That's Armature Studio.
Oh, okay, sorry. I was trying to remember the other thing they did. They did something else, I think, for VR, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, no, the Deadpool game just came out.
They made a bunch of VR games. Like they got bought by Meta, and they made a bunch of VR games. Like I went to their website to look it up. So they got Deadpool VR, Path of the Warrior, which is kind of like a 90s beat 'em up, but VR. This game called Defector, The B Team, Wilson's Heart.
That was the one I knew of, yeah. Oh, look, I forget they made Logo Cycle.
Logo Cycle, yeah. So yeah, also Armature Studio, who did the RE4 VR, and then Sanzaru Games. They made the Asgard's Wrath, which I understand was popular.
It was a very popular game. And again, that Deadpool game just came out like last year. Not even that long ago.
Yep. So, pour one out. Here's another bunch of people looking for jobs.
It sucks, and I know one of the reasons they pivoted was that the metaverse just did so fucking badly.
They've dumped like billions and billions of dollars down that hole, and it appears that they just never had any real concrete strategy outside of like, we'll use it for meetings.
Yeah, I tried it a couple times because my brother, like, just to clarify, my brother legit works for Meta.
Yeah,
and so he was like, hey, here's try the metaverse, and I tried it and I was like, this is fucking garbage. Like I went into like a room that was called the comedy room.
Ooh.
And it was like it was like an open mic night section.
Yeah.
But everybody was very racist the entire time. They're like, let me say just the most racist jokes I can possibly say.
So you're saying it was just Roblox, but with a tie on.
Yeah.
It was Roblox in a 3-piece suit.
And so and I ran into kids, by the way. There weren't supposed to be kids in this thing. That was the funniest part. They're like you have to be this old to use it, but they were like, I clearly talked to like a 12-year-old at one point.
Okay. Well,
and then at one point, I joined like one group area, and I kept walking up to people just to see if I could talk to them, and they're like, "Get the fuck away from me!" And I'm just like, what is the point of this thing? Like, fucking
it's a social network for socials.
That was the thing. I was like, fucking, what is the name of the one where everybody has like there's these specific skins or whatever that you can just do whatever one,
like chat VR
chat. VR chat, I think is the name of it.
Yeah,
that is way more useful than the metaverse ever was, because at least there I can be Spider-Man talking to fucking like Pac-Man.
You can have a bunch of
and have a normal
knuckles come through,
and they're somehow way more friendly than anyone in the metaverse.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, pour one out. Another classic studio gone from stupid corporate fuckery.
I'm really annoyed by that.
Let's see. Now we got a couple of stories from people who don't like AI. So one of the big things is that Games Workshop has said that I don't know. I have a very 50-50 about this. Games Workshop is like, we have agreed on internal policy. We do not allow AI generated content or AI to be used in our design process or its unauthorized use outside of Games Workshop, including any of our competitors. Oh, wait a minute. What was that last part? You don't allow it in any of your competitors?
Wait, what?
Anyway,
but I think that was written by AI.
Or right. But the thing is that like this is from Games Workshop, and I'm like, what was AI gonna do for you, Games Workshop? Like, your whole business is about selling people physical things that they have to paint and put inside a physical scenery. Like,
I think the idea is like for concept art, like for making the physical thing.
Sure.
Because I bet this came down from the fact they saw this sheer backlash that was it Wizards?
Oh,
Wizards of the Coast
yeah.
Because a lot of that was concept art and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And probably the art on like the boxes of these things too.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you're not gonna catch us fucking slipping is what they're trying to say.
Yep, pretty much. So yep, they said that they don't want to do any of that. We had another one. This one is from Hooded Horse, which I was like, what the fuck is Hooded Horse? Hooded Horse is the publisher that they publish Manor Lords and like this Cataclysmo and Endless Legend 2, like, so very niche, like 4X/strategy publisher. And they said that they're very not interested in that. But the guy that they were talking to was also like, I'm also very frustrated because in the games industry, AI actually means something else. Like, you can be like, oh, I'm making a game and we've got a revolutionary new AI that is running all of the like the other countries in the on the world map, and it's like, well, wait a minute, which AI do you mean? Do you mean the one that's been in games for the last 40 years, or like the one that we hate from the last 14 months?
Yes,
like,
it's got to be the most frustrating thing, because especially if they're hiring people, they're like, we need somebody with experience in AI, but when they're in their heads, especially the people who've been doing it for a long time, it's the thought process of like, the way a game enemy reacts to you, or the way, like you said, that when in an RTS, like the enemy would build, if like making them harder, making them easier,
computer controlled opponents.
Exactly. like that was still my thought process for AI for gaming for years.
Yeah,
until fairly recently.
Yep,
it's very annoying.
So so that was a thing. And then we got let's see, a statement from the Arc Raiders CEO. So Arc Raiders has been under a little bit of fire because they used AI for some of the voices in the game. Just for reference, Arc Raiders is made by the same people that made the Finals, which also got in trouble for using AI voices. I think that Arc Raiders is a little different in that, like, they said specifically that they like hired people that knew this was what they were going to be doing in advance, and that they signed like contracts to let them know, and that part of it was see, here's the thing. There's a use case that I have sympathy for, of like, well, we need the guy to come in and record 10 new lines. It's like, well, that's going to take 20 minutes. Like, are we going to have the guy drive out here for 2 hours to get in the booth and do 15 minutes worth of work and then fucking pay him to go home? If I call him on the phone and I'm like, hey, man, I'll just Venmo you $300 if we could just use that AI of your voice to do 10 things that are garbage lines that don't have any feeling behind them. And he'd be like, yeah, man, I'll let you do that if I don't have to leave the house.
A lot of it comes down to the fact that, like, I get why voice actors are very hesitant about this.
Yep.
But I also get why some of them feel the need to just do it, if, like you said, if it's like 10 or under lines.
Right.
Because it would cost more gas for the person to drive to them than to actually just do that sometimes.
However, they did, this CEO really did, quote, I think people have misconceptions about what AI means. I mean, to us, we don't use AI to not have to hire people or to replace people or to replace job groups. That's not the point. It's like, well, what does that mean? I'd like you to continue speaking and tell me what the point actually is. I'd like you to nail down exactly what you want to use it for, as opposed to like, don't tell me what you're not going to use it for. Tell me what you are going to use it for.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, it's not going to replace artists or writers or voice actors or anybody, and we're not going to fire anybody. And it's like, well, then what the fuck are you... Why say it? Like,
yeah, it's like talking to a guy about torture, and he goes, "Look, we don't torture cats," and then they're like, "Why did you only say cats specifically?"
Yeah,
continue that thought.
Right. So, I don't know. I mean, as it is, I don't know. Yeah. Let's see. Is this the fun one? Yeah, this is the fun one. So there was a free-to-play game on Steam that was called Hardest. And let's be honest here. It was a free-to-play game, so it didn't have any money. And it's garbage. It's like a card game that has little AI-generated anime people. It's like a little rock, paper, scissors thing. It's a guy. He made it for fun. He made it in his spare time, and he put it online. And he did all of the art with AI, and he also used AI to help him code part of it. And so he put it online, and people were like, we don't like that. He was like, I don't understand what the problem is. But this is the part where the story is really weird, Michael. Then, okay, so now he just announced that he's turning the entire game off and deleting it off of Steam. And people were like, okay, why? And he's like, well, about a month ago, I started dating this girl. And after talking with her for a little while, she made me realize that AI is like truly evil and shitty, and that I should delete the game that I made with AI. And I'm like, and so there's a lot of people in the comments that were like, yep, that tracks. You were like, I don't understand why people have a problem with AI. Then I talked to a woman who I wanted to impress, and I was like, I am against AI fully, and I don't want any part of it anymore.
There's a very easy gag to this that I will not say because it's vulgar. It's super vulgar as shit.
Yeah,
but you all know exactly the joke I'm thinking.
Yes,
and that's great. Good for him? Question mark.
Yeah, and he even said, like, he said he coded part of it himself, and he's like, I got ideas for another thing, and I think I could just do all the coding myself, and fucking hire out for art and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, but what a like, this is not a story you ever hear where it's like, person deletes their game off of Steam because their girlfriend was like, have you thought that you might be evil?
Are we the baddies?
And I wanted to see her tits, so I was like, I will delete my game off of Steam, Becky. Let's go out to dinner.
What a funny thing. If anything, it should just make him decide to just make this game again, but hire somebody. Maybe hire your girlfriend.
Sure.
Maybe she knows how to draw.
She knows how to do it. Anyway, It didn't look like it was much of a game, and it was always free to play to begin with. So it's real small ball potatoes compared to some of the other stuff we're talking about.
It was just some rock, paper, scissors thing. There was nothing really all that interesting about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay, this happened a little bit further back last year, but this was a patent, so it only really came out onto...
I actually did hear about this.
To stuff recently, where apparently Sony... Okay. I already don't know how to feel about this, because you remember when the PS5 was getting ready to launch, and Sony was like, yeah, if you don't know how to do this achievement, you could pull up the achievements list and then go play a video that shows exactly how to do this achievement.
I never once used it.
And then do that. And I was like, why? You could just search the internet. The internet has a whole bunch of websites that are devoted to nothing but this one thing. Apparently, Sony patented the idea of having an AI like assist you or just do a part of the game for you.
Yeah, I heard about this. And it was a very interesting idea.
Yeah, it's ghost players. So they can either be, they're called AI ghost players, and they would be trained, and they can either show you what to do, like, you're like, I don't know where to jump, and it's like, look at this ghost, just goes boingy, 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 boingy. Or just do it for me. It's called competitive mode. And I'm like, so... look, man, I don't want to be that guy or anything, but are we going to live in a future where AI makes the video games that are rendered using AI to fill in the pixels because they weren't drawn properly, and then the game is such crap that I use an AI to beat it, thereby removing every part of humanity from the entire process from start to finish?
Look, Jeff, this is just the inevitable endpoint of watching Let's Plays. And now you don't even have to watch whatever that Kai Cenat or whatever the fuck those guys' names are.
Yeah.
Actually play a game. Now you can just get to the game part.
Oh, dude, what if we did record our voices in AI, but they had a thing where you could buy, like, Michael and Jeff by the hour to do commentary while you're playing the game in real time?
That actually would be kind of funny.
And then it just says stuff for us, and then we just get to collect all of the money. But, like, you know, at least you get to laugh. Like, it would be nice.
Yeah, that's something at least.
You could make us play all those games that you didn't want to play. You know, have like a saltiness meter, so you could be like, oh, I want to see that Avatar game, but with no saltiness. I want these guys to be super into Avatar the entire time. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that. I don't know if I want to live in a future where I'm super into Avatar, even as an AI.
I don't want an AI version of me would not be into it. But I don't know. Like it reminds me of like the movies where somebody's like, they're like, well, like you can't do it unless I take control, type of thing.
Yeah.
Like Upgrade is a good example of that. Like that movie. They're like, well, just let me take control or whatever, and I'll kick everybody's ass. It's like that's what's happening here, and I'm like, I don't like the implications of that.
No. Here's but more people. I love Upgrade. That's a great movie, but it's more like Click.
Yes.
It's like, okay,
it's like Click. Actually, is a good way of putting it.
Okay, you just fast forwarded through the game. And now you're old and you didn't do anything and you don't remember anything. Like, I'm not trying to say that beating fucking Age of Calamity Hyrule Warriors is like a huge achievement or anything, but at least I did it. Like, I didn't have something else do it for me.
Look,
like,
Gamer, you don't want to make Henry Winkler sad, do you? I don't want to make Henry Winkler sad.
So, all right, from there, we got to pick up pace a little bit. Speaking of AI, okay, here's a story that's not about. It's a different type of story. So there was a leaker online. This has been a rumor for a little while, but a pretty solid leaker is saying that somewhere in Q1 or Q4, I guess, between January and March, that Sony is going to update the PSSR AI upsampler on the PS5 Pro to a new model, to a 2.0 model. It's supposed to fix a lot of the like shimmery bullshit and a lot of the stuff that's been happening in games. And then it's supposed to also raise the frame rate if you're using like real high frame rate or VRR, I guess, on TVs and stuff like that. I've been hearing about this for a while.
They've been talking about it for a long time. It was a rumor for a long time too.
Yep. Well, it still is, right? It's not like
technically, it still is. Yeah.
But I guess the thing is that I'm interested in that. I do have a PS5 Pro, and if things could look better with a firmware update, okay, that's cool. But like, can I see it? Like, does it fix the problems in the Unreal Engine 5 Shimmery Grass games? Because I would be interested in replaying some games.
Yeah, an easy way of telling, I think, is I know Alan Wake 2 had a lot of that issue.
Yeah.
It's funny because I didn't even realize that's what was going on. Because I started playing it with it, and I was going, look at all this surreal shit. Because I thought it was part of the game. And then somebody's like, doesn't this look like shit? I'm like, oh.
Oh, right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Totally.
I knew the whole time.
So, I mean, I would like to play Metal Gear Delta, but I'm not going to play it until it runs buttery smooth. That's a fucking PS2 game. I don't give a shit what engine you remade it in. I'm not going to play it if it stutters. I'm not going to play a stuttery fucking snake eater.
There's a lot of stuttering in that game.
So I don't know if this will do anything for it, but I'm interested to see how it goes, because if it works better and it doesn't cost anything, that's great.
In fact, they even had like one of the videos they showed was just the Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. We also, I mentioned it earlier, but NVIDIA announced DLSS 4.5 at the, what was it, CES, I think?
Oh, yeah.
Which is supposed to be even better, more frames, smoother frame generation. The big thing is that it's only going to be available on 40 and 50 series cards. So that's a little bit of a bottleneck. And then also I read a thing that said that it like really jacks up the power draw for the cards if you're using that new model.
I'm not surprised by that, all considering, because the problem with making something more powerful is that it doesn't make the rest of the computer more powerful.
As I understand
it's going to be what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's just running more complicated stuff on the tensor cores, and so it's just like drawing way more power. But it's in the beta app right now in the new driver that's rolling out. I actually had a few games last week where my computer was like the fan turned on and I was like, why? So I don't know if I've accidentally updated to that and like somehow DLSS was turned on in like a game like that Big Hops game that we played, and my computer's like, I'm like, what are you doing, man? You've got the power to do this. So I don't know. We'll see. Again, I'm more interested to see if Unreal Engine 5 runs without stuttery bullshit than I am anything else. So.
Yeah, that is the thing, is if you can optimize Unreal 5, you've got me with whatever any of these two things we've talked about is.
Yep. So that's the good news from NVIDIA. You want to hear the bad news from NVIDIA?
Yeah.
So apparently the cost of NVIDIA cards is supposed to be shooting through the ever-loving roof.
Yeah, it's going to be brutal.
Like, the 5090s are $2,500, and apparently there was one rumor that they were going to double in price. $5,000 for a video card.
Man, fuck you guys.
Like, okay, I guess if the price of everything is going to go up because of RAM and NAND and all that bullshit, what is your solution? And one of the rumors that we've heard is that NVIDIA is going to reopen the 30 series production lines and start making 3060s again to sell, because that will be the only thing that anyone in this world can afford. At which point I say, why are you making video cards that cost like I'm trying to think of how many months of rent that would be for the most modern person, but a crappy car, like the amount that you would pay for a crappy ass car.
Like, that's kind of a terrible decision.
Yeah,
because the whole reason people buy graphic cards is to get the best looking thing they can.
Mm-hmm.
If you're selling worse cards, why would anyone want them other than like a 10-year-old?
I mean, I guess if somebody hasn't upgraded and they're looking for an upgrade, but they want a budget-conscious one. They're also talking about doing this with the 3060, which is one of those ones that leans really heavily on frame generation, so that it has like less actual just video card hardware and a lot more tensor cores on it. So
here's the deal, guys. People aren't buying new games anymore, it seems, based on all of the stories that we've talked about.
Yep.
Maybe this is the solution for all those people who aren't buying new games. They're going to keep buying 10 to 20-year-old games, and now they need the card that is designed specifically for that.
I mean, I guess. Or maybe they just don't buy new games and they don't buy your refreshed trash that you took out of the garbage can and dusted off and handed to me like it was something that I should be happy about. Like,
I forgot. This is ridiculous.
Yep.
I don't even have a metaphor for this.
Fucking terrible. Fucking
an example
terrible
for this. This is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. Let's see. Also, apparently, so this is weird. The ROG Ally X apparently was going to be the first thing that was going to get a big hike in price due to RAM issues, which of 2026. Of 2026.
Oh, okay.
This is supposed to happen around January 5th around CES. I couldn't find any information about whether there had been an actual price increase, but these things are already like $1,500 or something like that, or 12. They're over.
They're already pretty expensive, yeah.
So, that's
I don't know
cool.
anyone who wanted to get one of these because of that.
Well, this is that thing, Michael, where, let's see. So the 1 terabyte Ally X was $1,000. As of right now, I just looked it up, and it looks like it's $1,000 on Microsoft's website. Let's see. Let's go to Best Buy's website. Buy now. It says it's still $1,000.
Still $1,000, yeah.
But this is like when Xbox raised the price on the Xboxes, and it's like, you're already the worst selling one, Xbox. What? I mean, like, it may cost you more, but like, I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to eat that. Like, you
also, why are you raising the price? I don't think you sold the others to begin with.
They sold all of them.
They really?
They sold all of these dumb ROG Allies.
I was talking about the other Xboxes.
Oh, the other Xboxes. Yeah.
The ROG Allies, okay, that's a shiny new thing. I get that.
Pretty sure it wasn't about halfway through last year where Microsoft announced they weren't even producing Xboxes anymore to like sell through through what was on
they're
the shelves.
just out in the wild still. That you can get them for like $1.
Why would you buy an Xbox when your phone is an Xbox?
Yeah.
Your TV is an Xbox.
The ROG at least is a fancy looking thing, so I get why that sold.
Yeah,
and you can walk around with it.
I guess. So yeah, that's a thing. That's great. We're gonna have a real good time this year.
Yeah, gaming is gonna be a major pain in the asshole.
We also had an interview, speaking of handhelds, with the Nintendo president Shutaro Furukawa about the cost of components and whether the price of like the Switch 2 was going to go up. And his response was that the components that like they currently have enough stuff in the pipeline to keep going for a while, but they are keeping an eye on it. So it looks like they are currently, like nothing in the short term, like nothing like the ROG Ally has been out for 3 months and it's now more than $1,000, right?
Yeah, it would be a bad time, especially because this console's been out for what, like half a year?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, so it has no immediate impact. The memory pricing has no immediate impact, but it could at some point. So
I wouldn't be surprised I wouldn't be surprised if after a year they decided to look into the idea again.
Very possibly,
but I don't see it happening within this first 6 months. I think, or this next 6 months at least.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, this is part of what we were talking about before. Apparently, the Switch sales. I mean, all of the Nintendo sales were down this holiday season. Apparently, Switch 2 sales of the holiday season were down 35% compared to the Switch 1's game sales in 2017, which is around the same time as launch. Switch 2 lagging the Switch 1 by 16%. And even in Japan, the Switch 2 holiday sales were down 5.5% versus the Switch 1. In France, it was down over 30% compared to the Switch 1. I mean, the thing is, we've been talking about this for a while, and we're going to keep talking about it. But I don't know what has to happen to be like, guys, it's too fucking expensive. Like, I don't know what you need to hear, but it's just too fucking expensive, man. The games are too expensive. The consoles are too expensive. The controllers are too expensive. Everything's too fucking expensive. No one's got any fucking money for this hobby anymore.
Yeah. The Switch 2 being $500 and it only having
4 games.
At most 4 games that are worth getting on it.
Yep.
At the moment. Like, and everything else. And on some of those games are on the Switch 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no real reason to have a Switch 2 unless you're really, really into Donkey Kong and Mario Kart, I guess.
But then also, I couldn't understand why Kirby Air Riders was a Switch 2 exclusive. Like, I just, for the life of me, could not understand that.
That felt like a desperation move, just being like, well, we need something that has a mainline Nintendo character on it.
It's got to be the online components, the only thing I could think of. But
yeah, they want you to have that camera so you can talk to your friends while you play the Kirby's.
Well, and then I played Metroid Prime 4 over the holidays, and I kind of thought it stunk. So, like, that's the other thing, is that you remember when the Switch 1 launched and it was a fucking Mario game and one of the best Zelda games ever been made on day one. Yeah. Like, this thing had that Donkey Kong bonanza. You and I have different opinions on that, but that was like, it wasn't a Mario or a Zelda game.
Yeah, here's the thing. I like Donkey Kong a lot, but I don't think the rest of the world likes Donkey Kong nearly as much as anybody else does.
And near as I can tell, that fucking Mario Kart game is not burning up. It's not setting the world on fire.
It's not it is only in like movement that insane people are doing.
Yeah,
but not everybody's that insane guy. They're just playing Mario Kart, and they're like, why do I need to buy a $500 console to play new Mario Kart where Mario Kart 8 still works perfectly fine?
Yep.
And I don't have to fucking shell out another fucking $500 for it.
Yep.
It's going to be a while until the Switch 2 really gets its legs, I feel.
Mean, we'll see if the new Fire Emblem... I mean, like, I am excited for that, but I don't think Fire Emblem's going to be, like, the thing. I don't think Fire Emblem is going to be bringing all the boys to the yard.
Nintendo feels like D just being like, so among you guys, you don't have $600? Like, well, the economy is in shambles.
Right.
But that is true, though.
Let's see. And then last, looks like Nintendo also has another labor charge complaint from the NLRA.
Oh, whatever. No.
It's like, it's from a third party thing, and they're talking about basically Discharge, including layoff and refusal to hire, is the specific complaint. So we don't have a lot of details on this yet, but the NLRB has basically filed a complaint saying that it seems like they might have let somebody go who said the word union out loud at work.
He probably wasn't even talking about unionizing. He was just talking about how much he likes the union,
right? Union
Jack. He's a big fan of Marvel.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We also got an update in the Rockstar case this week. Now this is a weird update. Not the Scottish Labour Council said that they would not require Rockstar to pay back pay to the people who have been laid off at this point.
That is surprising.
Reading this article, it makes it sound like there's two things. Like, if you're bringing an employment lawsuit, the first thing you can ask for is this. And it is a really high bar. They don't grant that very often. The second thing, which is still getting ready to go on, is a formal complaint about what all actually happened. And then depending on how that sorts out, you might get a financial reward. But that, like, asking them to pay you while the inquest is ongoing is a very high bar to go past. So, like,
that makes more sense then.
The union was like, this was disappointing, but it was by no means like completely unexpected.
It was more, this was more in line with what we expected to happen, but there's other things that are more at stake in this conversation.
Yep. So we'll see how that one goes. More of that fuckery. Ubisoft Halifax completely shut down. 71 people gone. This happens after they are the mobile Ubisoft division. They made that Rainbow Six Mobile.
Didn't they unionize or something?
They unionized in December, and the entire organization's been liquidated in January.
I think that was one of the last news stories we did was them unionizing.
Yep. Ubisoft insists that this was in the works for a long time and has nothing to do with them unionizing. If I was Ubisoft, I would have given them some new project to work on for 6 months and then be like, oh no, I guess that project got canceled, instead of doing it like 1 month after they unionized.
Yeah, it's not even 1 month based on what happened. That's fucking insane.
Yep.
Everyone's going to think that's why you did it.
Yep. There's not really anything to say. I mean, Ubisoft has been slashing and burning. That is true, but it's just not a good look. It's just like, again,
it's a very bad look.
If I was to run a business and I had to fire people, I wouldn't do it in December, and I wouldn't do it right after they unionized. So,
it seemed like a good idea at the time. They probably are thinking to themselves.
We'll see how that goes. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, there's my mouse. Next up, apparently they're also making like a definitive edition of The Division.
Do people still play The Division?
Apparently the Division 1 is very well liked, and people have a lot of nostalgia for it. It is roughly 10 years old. It already has a next gen release. It has a current generation console release. But apparently there's some kind of definitive edition that was a big advertisement for new box art that said definitive edition on it at some event that people were at.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There's dozens of them, Jeff.
I don't even know, but if that's what you guys are into, I know Jason really likes The Division.
I was about to say, I think Jason's the only other guy I knew who was playing The Division at any given point.
He only plays that because he has a friend that plays it. So,
well, that's usually what happens that causes that to happen. Yeah. Otherwise, no, I don't think anyone would play that game.
So this might actually have already happened because there's a 10th anniversary commemorative premiere event that's happening this weekend between January 16th and 18th. So we'll see.
That's this weekend. Yeah.
Personally, just am I don't know why.
Yeah, by the time this comes out, that'll have happened.
Yep. EA shareholders approved their buyout via the big Saudi investment group things. So,
I'm shocked, Jeff.
I know.
Shocked.
I know. First big hurdle crossed, which is making sure that your internal money people are okay with you getting a whole big chunk of money that they're going to get a piece of. So, yep.
I was my girlfriend was watching one of those the toys that made us type thing documentaries, and it was talking about the guys I helped create Electronic Arts. I'm like, oh, you poor bastard. you created the empire and you didn't even realize it.
Yeah, we that's not even the end of our EA, because we did get, it was interesting, the Sims, the studio that makes The Sims kind of came out with a letter talking about like what their plans were moving forward. There's that whole Project Renee thing that's been out there. They said that's not The Sims 5. That's going to be like a mobile only thing.
Oh, okay.
They're basically doing like a few different projects for different things. But one of the things that they did say was that they are like they addressed the question I've had. Our Sims team could quote, our Sims team's creative control, guided by our values of inclusivity, choice, creativity, community, and play, has not changed. These values inspire the decisions we make each and every day as we plan for tomorrow, or today, tomorrow, and the future, seeming to indicate that they're not immediately going to shut down / completely de-wokeify The Sims or whatever. But I mean, which is a legitimate concern, you know.
No, yeah, especially with something like this, a buyout like this.
Yep.
Like this is a buyout not just from some. It's not like with the Microsoft buyout.
Yeah.
This is a buyout that is from a country that is known for hiring weird comedians for things just because they can.
Yep.
Like but actually but those people were under strict rules about very specific jokes.
Yep.
So imagine a game company having to deal with that specific thing.
Yep.
I think the biggest saving grace is the fact that these games aren't made in that country, so it's probably much easier to push back on it. I think is probably the hope that we're going to have for that.
Absolutely. Let's see. Battlefield 6 Season 2 has been delayed.
Okay.
It's supposed to be already out, but it's supposed to come out January 20th, but now it's coming out February 17th.
They need to make sure they add DJs to it.
That's right. Well, apparently people were not in love with the first season.
Oh, okay.
Like the rewards, the battle pass, and all that stuff was a bit of a thud, which, like, considering that their launch was so good, it's like I think that they probably just got a little too greedy and they didn't produce enough stuff. I mean, we see what like Fortnite is putting out for free on a regular basis.
They probably panicked at the fact that they're like, we got a good starting point, let's not waste it the way a lot of like the way Halo Infinite did.
Yeah,
Halo Infinite was the same thing where when they started, everyone's like, the gameplay's great, there's all this cool stuff.
Yep.
And then there was nothing.
Yep. So yeah, they're putting it out. Apparently there's going to be some kind of Valentine's Day event as well.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know what that's going to be, but I mean, I don't know. I think that they're in a weird position of being like, well, we can't rely on the goofy headline shit, you know.
No, yeah.
We can't put American Dad in Battlefield 6. So what do you do to maintain relevance moving forward, and are people going to continue to be interested? So I don't know if you know this, Michael, but Anthem shut down last week.
I'm shocked, Jeff.
Or this week.
Yeah, because you couldn't buy it anymore, and now it's just dead.
Yep, and
Anthem
apparently
died.
A lot of people reported that they couldn't re-download the game up to like 72 hours before it shut off, because people were like, I want to give it one last try, and then they opened up their EA account and it was like, you don't own shit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't own it and you can't have it. So
it was the monorail thing. They're like, there weren't no Anthem here.
Right.
There never was.
So yeah, I still just can't fucking believe that there isn't some way, or that EA didn't bother to just be like, there's a single player game in that game, like, and they're turning off the servers, and that means the game is unplayable.
It's completely unplayable.
Like
it was supposed to be turned into a better game.
Yep.
Here in Austin.
Supposed to be fixed.
It was supposed to be fixed. I remember they had this whole, what's it called, the Cataclysm? Was that the name of it?
Something like
that. It was
that.
supposed to be this huge event. Instead, it just made the sky a little blue.
Yep.
Every now and then, and nothing really happened. It was real bad. It was
no good.
Anthem is a story that the Jedi wouldn't tell you, type of thing, because it's bad.
It's funny because I didn't remember that it was shutting down this week. I would have actually reinstalled it and done maybe like one more video on it, because I've always been like, I don't think Anthem is a good game, but I had fun with it. So okay.
I did watch some people make videos about they're like, we're going to play Anthem one more time, and they're like, there's nobody here.
Yeah.
They couldn't get matchmaking to save their life. Like that game didn't even get a last hurrah.
Nope.
It's pretty bad.
It's true. Michael, did you read the story about the GameStop CEO?
I did. It's
fucking Ryan
such
Cohen.
Bullshit.
So, okay, Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop right now, is will get a $35 billion payout if he can make GameStop hit a $100 billion market cap, which is 10 times the value currently of GameStop. And like all fucking Sith lords that we've been talking about for the last year, he's decided the way to do it is by slashing costs, which means that they have shut down like 400 GameStops.
A lot of them,
like a lot of GameStops. What is it? It's close to 400 stores. I guess like 370 or something like that. And they're not even all shut down yet. And the worst part, and there's people on Reddit talking about this, the worst part is that there's like a sign on the door saying like, well, this store is closed. And then below it, it was like, scan this QR code to get an additional 20% when you trade stuff in, because that's the other thing they're doing is trying to like entice people to trade stuff in with giving them more credit.
That's fucking ridiculous.
And people were like, that's fucking awful. Like,
that's pretty bad.
This store is closed and here's a free QR code. But apparently in reading this, it was like, one of the reasons that GameStop was a thing was because they were fucking everywhere.
Yes.
I'm not driving for an hour to go to GameStop.
There's a story I tell all the time to people because people always joke about the fact that there's so many Starbucks. There's a Starbucks next to Starbucks, which was true for a long time.
Yep.
I grew up in a very small town of about 30,000 people, and the only reason it was that big is because there was an Air Force base.
Right.
There was a GameStop, and about a mile away from that GameStop was a GameStop.
Yeah.
And it was like, and it wasn't like it was like on the other side of the city. Like a good way of explaining it in like to you right now is that that PS5 Pro that you have on your desk is a GameStop, and that Xbox Series X next to it was a GameStop. Sure. And it was fucking ridiculous. I was like, this is a small ass town. Why are there two GameStops
right
next to each other?
Yeah.
And it didn't close for like a long ass time.
Yeah.
And it was like when I finally heard it close, it was purely because GameStop was finally starting to go downhill.
Yep.
And I was like, this is just ridiculous.
Hey, I'm sure that this is going to be a great move for GameStop. Physical media. Everybody wants it right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody wants a Funko Pop.
It's real fucking expensive. And when you go in there, those poor people are forced to ask you like 8 questions that you could tell. Like if they don't do it, there's a guy in the back with a gun.
Yeah.
Like watching the camera.
Like he's blinking a lot and you're like, what are you doing?
Like, no, I don't want a Game Informer subscription. No, I don't want to pre-order anything. No, I don't want any Funko Pops. No, I don't want to trade anything in. No, I just want to pay and leave like every other fucking store. So
yeah, the GameStops are pretty bad nowadays.
Anywho,
actually, they were bad even back then. Yeah.
Well, if you're buying games online, GOG announced that they are splitting from CD Projekt Red. So
really?
This just means that like one of the co-founders of CD Projekt Red is going to basically be taking over full time. And it sounds like there was some kind of overlap. Like there was a little bit of ambiguity where some of the staff was kind of working on one and working on the other and going back and forth. And they just want to like cut it down the middle with a big clear line where GOG buys out their section from CDPR and they go off to do their own thing. And CDPR does not have to worry about publishing anymore and is their own entity. I think that is a perfectly reasonable choice. And I think GOG has been really good over the last year about all the stuff they've been doing. So yep. Speaking of money, did you see the story about the Peak devs?
I did, and it's amazing.
It's great. The Peak devs. I've been called out by the Peak devs. Like, okay,
we all have.
Let's just see here. This is an interview where the co-creators were talking about that, and they said we had this joke of like, how much is this game really? In a player's mind, what does it mean to spend $5? Well, that's $5, but $6? Well, that's still $5. $4 is also kind of $5, and $3 is $2, and $2 is basically free. He goes on to say, so we've got these tiers. $12, that's $10, but $13 is $15, and when we found $8 is still $5. It doesn't become $10. $7.99, that's $5, right? So $8 is going to be $5. The biggest differential we could find in pricing. So we found it very optimal. So it's $8. So that was why Peak was $8. It's because $8 is $5, and you don't think too much about spending $5.
Well, it's the perfect encapsulation of the way a thought process works.
Absolutely.
When it comes to money, because I still do that.
I read this article. I was just nodding along the entire time. I was like, yep, that's right.
All of that made sense to me.
Yep, 100%.
There are times I'm in a grocery store where something is like that much, and I'm like, well, that's $15. But it's not $15.
$13 is $15. But $12 is $10.
But 12 is, that's not that much more.
And $2 is basically free.
Yeah, exactly.
Earlier today, Michael, I was sitting on the loading screen of my Switch 2, and they had an advertisement for like the Animal Crossing Switch 2 upgrade, and it was $5. And I bought it, even though I haven't opened Animal Crossing in 4 years. And after I bought it, I went, am I going to play Animal Crossing? And I was like, No, I'm not. Why did I just do that?
I bought the digital deluxe upgrade to Dispatch because it was on sale for $8,
Yeah,
which is basically $5.
Yes,
and I did it, and I'm not going to play Dispatch again recently, so it made sense to me.
Yeah, it's great. That's so good. That's
the
such
whole
a good.
thing.
That's so good. That's the best thing I've heard all week.
It's fucking insane.
We got 2 more to wrap this up. Konami has decided that they want to try to turn Silent Hill into a yearly franchise.
Oh, this is going to be a bad thing.
Which, okay, well, let's be honest. Silent Hill 2 came out and everybody liked it. That was 2 years ago.
Yes.
Last year, Silent Hill F came out. Thought it was great. Thought, man, I'm still playing New Game Plus. That was great. This year, that Silent Hill Townfall game by the people that made
I forgot about that.
Observation and those games, that's supposed to come out. So that's technically a Silent Hill game. And then I think they've got a remake. There's a rumor there's a remake of the first Silent Hill that's out there right now. And
I'm perfectly cool with that.
Could probably get that out by next year. So it's like, well, yeah. I need to know what happens 2 years from now. Like, what's your plan? Is it a sequel to Silent Hill F? Is it a sequel? Is it a new game? Is it a remake?
It's probably going to be a remake of 3.
Maybe. Yeah. But at least, Capcom has been smart enough to be like, here's a new game. Here's a remake. Here's a new game. Here's a remake. And that's a great cycle.
It is a good cycle. That's a great question because Silent Hill was the same as Resident Evil, where there's just a shit time frame.
Yeah.
Where they kept trying new things, but the majority of them were bad. And I know Konami's not going to be able to entice somebody like Kojima to come back just to make another Silent Hill game.
Yeah.
So I don't really know, but they could probably coax a new horror developer again, the same way they did Bloober Team.
Yep.
I'm sure they could pull that off again.
I mean, I bet Bloober Team would be more than happy to remake another Silent Hill. They got all kinds of kudos. It was one of their better performing games. Everybody was slapping them on the back and saying this is good. And then whoever made Silent Hill F, it's like they finally took that shit seriously. Man and I are still fucking teasing out the metaphors. The metaphors.
So many metaphors. I'm very happy for Silent Hill fans that they're eating well again.
Yeah.
But we'll see how long that lasts.
I don't have a problem with this. I just think that they need to know when to stop.
Yes.
If they get to a certain point, they don't just fucking we got to put something out for the sake of putting something out.
Look, Jeff, Call of Duty Black Ops Silent Hill is going to be fantastic.
And last but not least, this is a very weird one, Michael. Do you remember this game? It was called Mudang Two Hearts. It was on an Xbox Direct, and it was like a weird Splinter Cell looking
I do remember that.
It was like a paramilitary thing, but it was also like a cape. There's a K-pop lady that was part of it.
Yeah,
but
it
also
was the game
zombies.
It was the game that all of us were like, "What the fuck is this supposed to be?"
Yep.
Because a lot of the stuff wasn't translated on the documents and stuff.
Yep.
So no one knew what the fuck was happening.
Yep.
And so by the time it was done, we were like, what is this game supposed to be?
It looks like a stealth action game, and then there's a K-pop lady, and it looks like a paramilitary game, but then at some point it looks like there's zombies?
Yeah.
Like a rage virus or something?
Yeah, a rage virus starts happening in the middle of it.
And you're like, wait, what?
And there's also a K-pop lady who's in what seems to be a conspiracy of some kind.
Yep.
None of it made sense to me, but I was also absolutely intrigued by it.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't even that long. Wait, actually, how long ago was this?
It was an Xbox game showcase. This YouTube video was put out 7 months ago.
Okay, so that wasn't that long ago. But it looks really well along.
Yep. It looked like it was using a lot of those new tools to do stuff. Maybe fully canceled at this point.
Oh my god!
So
maybe somebody's like, "So what is this game about?" And then they just start getting nervous.
They haven't talked about anything for a while. They were doing pretty regular updates, but there's a venture capital platform called the VC.kr that showed that there was a bunch of reductions in the people that worked there. The Discord has gone silent to the point where the mods are like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't nobody will talk to me, so I can't tell you anything about this.
They must have lost some budget and they just don't want to do it yet.
So there's a really good chance that this might be DOA, and it just hasn't been announced yet.
I don't know how to feel about that, but more because I wanted to see what the fuck this whole thing was going to be.
That was more what I'm more interested to be like, this is the sort of game that could end up being like, oh, it was trash, or like, oh, it was actually pretty good. Like, weird.
Or maybe both.
I mean, poor fucking Xbox, though, too, because I think this was supposed to be on Game Pass, and it's like, well, you lost another one.
Okay, the Xbox is real bad about that. They'll announce something and be like, look, it's going to be very exciting.
Yep.
And then, like, not even a year later, they're like, oh, by the way, we canceled it a while back.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that is part 2. So we're going to take a break. When we come back, we still have a whole bunch of trailers left to talk about. So stick around, and we'll see you in just a minute. And we're back. It's part 3. You all know what that means. Maybe you don't. They've been gone for a month. It's trailers.
Yeah, this is the Western. Trailers. That's what happens in part 3.
Yeah.
This is the Western episode.
Before we get to that, though, we had one more story. People think there might be a big Fallout thing coming because Amazon has a weird website that has like a bunch of it's like one of those old like click on this thing to take a 3D tour of the airship from season 2 of Fallout. And so it's got a bunch of this bullshit, but then it has this one locked thing, and it's got a timer that's counting down on it. And the timer coincides with the release of the final episode of season 2. And people are hoping that this is something game related and not just like, and here's the bloopers for season 2. Like,
no, that feels like wishful thinking, in my opinion.
Yeah,
because it could just mean there's a secret like location in the end of the show,
very possibly,
that they just are going to put when the final episode comes out.
Very possibly. However, there has been that rumor for a long time that they're doing a Fallout 3 remake.
That's true. And then the Fallout 4 remake came out instead.
Yeah.
So that's probably, but it would make some sense with New Vegas being meant like a thing in the new season.
Some people think it's a New Vegas remake, and I'm like, if that's the case, that's a good move.
That's a great move.
That's a great move, but like, I just don't see it.
I don't either.
Bethesda seems weird about New Vegas. Like, they don't want to say out loud that they think it's fucking bullshit that you guys like that so much more than their game. But like,
that's exactly what it is. They sit there being like, it's like the adopted kid. Yeah. That they were like, that boy of yours is so fucking awesome. And they're like, well, he's not. Like, he's my step kid.
Right.
And you're just like, but what about my son? Like, your son's a loser. No one gives a shit about him.
Yeah.
He's an idiot.
Anyway, I still like Fallout 3 Bethesda. I'll play it if you put it out. And
then they still like it more than 4, which makes it even funnier.
Yeah, that is interesting. Hey, our first trailer is that they put a bunch of Fallout into Black Ops 7 and Warzone. They put in the Ghoul, they put in the Power Armor guy, they put in Lucy from the Vault and all that stuff. Titus? Is this Titus?
I never really watched the show.
This is a good Call of Duty crossover. These characters all look like they should be running around shooting guns at people.
Yeah, they're normal proportions for a human being.
Yeah. The only thing, Michael, is God damn it, Activision, can you make these people have facial expressions? Because they make these like scans of normal people. I complained about this when the ballerina thing came out, and they have almost zero facial expressions. Like,
well, you don't think angry is a facial expression, Jeff?
No.
That's the only facial expression they have, by the way.
But most of the time they're just dead-eyed. They're not even like
yeah, there's the dead-eyed look.
They're not even like, when you see them like running around at the beginning of this trailer, they're not even like breathing hard or anything. It's just like,
well, they do the thing that a Ninja Turtles action figure has, where they have that scowl, angry like look. That's the only thing they do.
So I actually think this is kind of cool, but like, I wish they would just have better. Anyway, they had a bunch of stuff in the zombies mode as well. They have I think they have a get the power armor mode for the main game. So yeah, that's fun. That's some fun stuff.
No, that's not a bad. Yeah, she's doing that like angry face. But I think that's when they shoot or something.
When they shoot, I think it's specifically when
they're running and shooting, because the Ghoul does it as well.
Yeah,
but that's like the only facial expression they have.
Yeah,
but I'm glad that Bethesda learned their lesson as well as just Microsoft in general, you should have something Fallout related when the show comes out.
I just wanted to call it out because like it's not Snoop Dogg. Like,
yes,
it's not Beavis and Butt. Like, this is thematically appropriate for your fucking video game, guys.
Yeah, it's not Cheech or Chong,
right? Or
the weed monster, or whatever the fuck that thing was.
Yeah. All right. We also got South Park in Fortnite.
The trailer for this is so funny to me.
Yeah.
Because it's weird watching the boys not fucking curse.
Yeah.
For 3 minutes straight.
It's a whole. They did a whole little animation where they're all playing Fortnite and they won't let Butters in, and so he dresses up as Professor Chaos and he gets the stick of truth. I appreciate.
Yeah.
That they call it back to the stick of truth, and then he puts them all in Fortnite. However, Michael, I'm going to tell you right now, I just don't like it because they have to put them all in the cardboard mech suit so that they're the right size.
That is one of the only downsides to it, but I appreciate the fact that they thematically look like things that they would have had.
Yeah.
Although hilariously, there's one thing that people keep asking about is why is Kenny the only one without a second version of his skin?
Uh-huh.
And the answer everybody has used that they've all accepted is that Kenny is poor. So he couldn't make another version of the suit if he wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're all driving. It's like the Roger suit for Black Ops, where they're all like in kind of cardboard and pieced together suits. I think that Cartman has some awesome one, which that one is, that's somewhat thematically appropriate.
Yeah,
but
and apparently the Butters one is like a version of the one from the second game, just like just shrunken down.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Whatever. I'm not like mad about it or anything. I don't like it as much because they had to really manhandle them into that configuration.
But also the funniest thing is that Towley is now one of the pets you can buy.
Yes,
which I'm like, you know what?
I would almost.
That's kind of fun.
I would almost spend money on Towley.
I've almost bought him multiple times, and I'm like, I don't think I should carry Towley with me.
It depends on what. It depends on if does he talk? Does he say his catchphrases?
Apparently, the pets can talk because SpongeBob has like a bunch of lines. I haven't checked in on the Towley thing.
I just want him. I mean, my favorite. I like Towley as a reoccurring character, but his first appearance is still my favorite, where he's putting in the code and he's like, "That's it. That's the melody to Funky Town. Want to take you to Funky Town."
It cracks me up every time I've seen that fucking episode.
It's so old at this point. Like,
it's a very old episode at this point, but there's like a bunch of stuff in the game. There is a downside apparently to the Stick of Truth thing.
Yeah,
because you can get the Stick of Truth and it lets you. What it does is it makes the storm follow whoever has the stick.
Oh, okay.
So they're always like in the center essentially. The problem though is that there's quest lines for using it, but there's only a 6% chance of ever seeing it in a match.
Oh, jeez,
which is like kind of insane.
Yeah. That's really low.
Yeah, so people were kind of upset about that.
Let's see. Next up on the multiplayer front, the Merc with a Mouth is now in Marvel Rivals. We pretty much knew this was going to be happening. But
well, yeah, they announced this a while back.
Yeah, Deadpool is in Marvel Rivals. It's interesting. He's all of the classes.
Yes, he can turn into any class.
Yes,
which is kind of amazing.
A duelist, a vanguard, or whatever the other one was. He also has he's got like a book of upgrades, and so you get points, and then you spend those points to get various upgrades as time goes on. It looks like a really wacky fucking character. Like, there's a point at the end of this trailer where they show like somebody is like he has cursed them. There's like a pop-up window with Deadpool, and it's punching the person, doing damage to them. It's very like meta. You get a thing where you put Deadpool tape and icons all across their screen, so it's harder to see. There's some kind of like photo mode finisher. It looks very creative. I definitely would be into this if I was still playing Marvel Rivals. Yeah,
it's super creative, and there's already like apparently he already has like voice lines that reference things that have come out.
Yeah,
he has a Batman crossover reference that he has because there was the Batman crossover that happened for people who don't know.
Yeah,
and if he talks to Moon Knight, apparently he's like, "Hey, I just hung out with the guy with the cape and a utility belt, and he had pointy ears." And they're like, "Oh, that's interesting." So it's really fun.
Yeah, it's an interesting way to do it. I'm glad that Marvel Rivals is still getting stuff. I know they just started a new season.
I know you don't have the trailer for it, but they're also coming out with some outfits for that are based on the beat 'em up that we played.
Oh yeah.
Which is also very exciting. But the fact that they're doing that at all is really cool. Like honestly, Marvel Rivals impresses me how often they make weird outfits, because they came out with the Daredevil I'm Not Daredevil outfit for Christmas.
Right.
And the fact that they did that at all is like I love. And there's a Cap Wolf outfit, and like it's really cool that they seem to be fans of Marvel just as much as anybody else.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Let's see. Dead by Daylight has Stranger Things in it. More Stranger Things.
I'm surprised this hadn't happened before.
Well, this is the second one, because I know that there's definitely something that happened before this.
Well, there was a Demogorgon was the one before.
Now it's Vecna, who I guess is like the bad guy for the franchise.
Yeah, he's the main bad guy.
And then that Dustin kid is now a survivor. Dustin and 11 are now survivors.
I don't know if they ever added survivors before, since they were supposed to be kids before that.
They did. They put in the lady with the sailor hat and then the Eddie guy, because those are from previous.
Okay,
these are from
those are the previous ones. Okay.
And also some,
because they were already kind of like adults at that point.
Yeah, some older folks. So.
And since now all of them are adults at this point,
yeah.
They're from the show. I recognize one of them, but I don't recognize the others. I never saw the show myself.
I stopped watching after season 1, so I don't know what the fuck is going on. But yeah, I mean, good on you, Dead by Daylight, for continuing to just shove every single thing that comes out into your game.
It's always surprising the things they sometimes get. This is not one of those times, but when the Nicolas Cage thing happened, that was a surprise. When the Castlevania and Trevor Bremont thing happened, that was a surprise.
Yep.
But it's also comforting even when there's not a surprise one.
Absolutely.
Because it just means the game's doing well and you get to see a lot of fun crossovers. Sure. I actually bought the Ash Bruce Campbell outfit purely in case somebody ever asked me to play the game. Just so I would have an outfit.
Was it $5? Was it $8?
It was $3.
So it was basically free.
Yeah.
This came out. I had this one on the list from the last podcast that we did, but we did mostly Game Awards. There was a new marathon Vidoc thing that came out that kind of went over a whole bunch of stuff. I only mention it because they changed the lighting engine for the game a little bit, so that it's got more of that kind of ray traced baked in Unreal lighting, as opposed to the very it used to be that everything kind of had a neon color draped over it.
Yeah.
And now there's points. I'm trying to see if I can find it. This is a 20-minute video where you can see that it's more regular. You'll have sunny days.
I think the obvious reason why they did that it was probably really cool, and they thought it would really set them apart.
Yeah.
Then they realized the game was probably really hard to play.
Yeah.
Some people have a really hard time with colors, and so they probably ran into that issue.
I don't know though. It's interesting watching this 20-minute thing made me be like, oh, I really am not interested in playing this.
I don't give a shit about any of this. I would have been excited if they made Marathon like a normal game the way original Marathon was.
Right.
But instead they turned it into this extraction shooter.
Extraction.
And they now are in a this is now an Ark, or this is now a post Ark Raiders world.
Right.
So they now have to compete with something that people like.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
It is. I don't know. When they were doing this, they were just like, yeah, if you want the really good loot, you're going to have to go to the place where all the rest of the people are. And, you will get shot in the face and people will take everything you have. And I'm like, are you trying to make me not want to play this game? Because I don't
want to do it.
I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. I even found out that in Ark Raiders, if you don't kill people, they matchmake you with more people that don't kill people. And if you kill people, they put you in a queue where violent people are.
Yeah.
They literally kind of separate you between the two of them to try to make it so that if you don't want to kill people, you could just kill the AI.
Yeah, I was just about to mention that. The fact that Ark Raiders is look, we want you guys to have fun.
Yeah.
And if you were a crazy psychopath who wants to murder everyone, have fun with the people who want to do that.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's still on deck, so still coming out pretty soon. We got a big walkthrough for Code Vein 2. This was an 8-minute walkthrough, just showing kind of off one of the levels and some of the powers and stuff. I mean, this game comes out in 2 weeks, so it was interesting to kind of see it. It looks very, I don't know, it kind of reminds me a lot of the first Code Vein, where it's kind of an action game. There is a kind of a weird thing where you've got an AI partner, and you can either have them kind of. And I mean like regular AI, not like large language.
We mean
model.
like the way a game AI used to be.
Yeah. Where they can either follow you around.
She doesn't have like 8 fingers or something.
Right. They can either follow you around or they can like merge with you to make you more powerful.
Does it make your tits bigger?
No, unfortunately not.
It's
you can also
unplayable.
Summon gigantic weapons. This fucking fuck off sword that's like 3 times as big as this guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it looks like they've got some, some stealth elements and some weapon switching, and it looks like a real weird. It's all based on kind of like time travel. Apparently, there's the special powers you get. You have to like suck out the vital energies from people to refill those charges. The whole demo has no UI present, so it's hard to see any of that
stuff. It also feels like it's a little less Souls-like at times.
Yes.
But there are some moments that are very still Souls-looking, especially the way enemies die and stuff.
Yeah.
It still feels like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's looking kind of promising. I don't know. That first game was so weird and I just didn't really give it a shake, but
it was a very weird game, but it did fairly well if I remember.
I think people liked it. So yeah, this is the merge state where you can see the hands with the swords, and so it's
and the swords like hover and stuff.
Yeah, kind of interesting.
It looks like he's fighting Blanca.
It really does. This guy with like huge hair and stuff. There's like giant bosses and this kind of weird mix between kind of semi-futuristic and medieval fantasy kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's like in like a tech area, but every now and then he fights like a guy who looks like he's
like
out
a
of
priest
fucking
or something,
Dark Souls type of thing.
Yeah, so interesting stuff. There was another new one that came out. There was another doc that came out that I didn't watch, but it was another 8-minute like kind of here's how this game works thing. So, yep. Also, main character looks a lot like Dante. So,
100%.
Make of that what you will.
100%.
We also got, I was a little disappointed here. We got a Romeo is a Dead Man introduction trailer. There is no gameplay in this. It is just
I was bummed by that too.
Talking about what the story is, and it talks about the story of the main guy, Romeo, who is a Romeo Stargazer, who is a sheriff's deputy, and he finds a lady named Juliet that's in the middle of the road, and they start hanging out at a diner, and they start to get to know each other, and they fall in love. But on the day of their wedding, instead of Juliet, a bunch of zombies show up, and they kill Romeo, but his grandpa puts a bunch of tech in him, and he turns into a weird fucking cyber violence man, and then he's got to go find his girlfriend, and I'm like, this all sounds wonderful. I love every part of this. Thank you very much, Suda51, for being who you are.
Everything we said sounds insane, but it's the most straightforward story I've heard about from Suda51 in a long time.
Yep. Absolutely. It was a little weird though, because wasn't Suda51, he was involved with Lollipop Chainsaw, right?
No, I don't remember if that was a Grasshopper or not thing.
Oh, okay.
But I think that's still Suda, if I remember
thought it
correctly.
was. And then James Gunn wrote it and Suda made it.
Something like that. I have to look that up because I do remember that being a whole thing.
Because just the idea of a second Juliet in a Suda51 game is a little bizarre. But here's another thing I keep forgetting, Michael. February 11th is when Romeo is a Dead Man comes out.
Oh, damn. Yeah, it was a Grasshopper manufacturer who made it. I don't know if that's specifically Suda51 overall.
I don't know that Lollipop ever...
They're the ones who made the No More Heroes games.
Yeah.
But it was made by Suda, if I remember correctly.
Let's see. Directors Tomo Ikeda and Suda51. So there you go.
Yeah, so he probably, his company made it, but I don't know if he himself like did anything.
I mean, he's listed as like under director credit. So.
Then he did then.
So
it's a shame that the remake didn't have all the music still.
Oh yeah, I mean, that was like hands off. Everybody that actually was involved with that was like hands off. It was just the people.
I don't even know if I don't know anyone who actually bought the remake.
Apparently it was garbage. So
yeah, that's what I heard.
But anyway, February 11th, basically less than a month away for a new Suda51 game. I'm really excited. We got the reveal over the holidays that Gachiakuta is getting a game. This was a big anime from last season that was a pretty big deal about, it's like a, I don't know, there's like a floating city full of rich people and they all throw their trash onto the ground, and then the main character, he lives on the poor side of the floating city, and they sentence him to be thrown down to the trash world, and then he hooks up with a bunch of people who have fucking shonen trash powers.
Oh, okay.
And then it turns out that he has the best shonen trash power, actually, and he's trying to get revenge on the guys that threw him off the city in the sky. whatever. It's fine, but the big thing is, like any shonen, you've got a bunch of characters, and each one of them has a very specific power. In this world, if you love a piece of trash enough, it becomes super powered. So
that's interesting.
One guy has like a stick, one guy has like an umbrella, this lady has big scissors. The main character has gloves that make anything he holds into a super powered object.
Oh, okay.
And so my only question is, like, is this like an action game or like an arena fighter? Because they show them there's also giant trash monsters in this world, and their nominal job is to go fight the giant trash monsters on the ground. But it could be a very good it's got a very singular art style, and it could be a very good way to get people into this franchise. So,
is it a phone game, Jeff?
No, I don't believe it is a phone game. I don't.
We've been tricked before, where a trailer looks kind of neat, and this then it's like pre-order on your phone.
PS5, Xbox, Steam, no phones.
Okay,
so.
Cool. Okay, we're good. We're good, guys.
Because it's just a cinematic trailer, right?
Yeah.
Like so.
Yeah, but that's what happened the last time.
Yes, with Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, and we're like, this looks pretty cool. And they're like, oh, by the way, it's on your Android phone. I'm like, fuck you.
God damn it. So, but yeah, I mean, this is a good. I watched a little bit of this. I didn't watch the whole thing, but it seems like it's popular right now, and it seems like something that would be good to make a game out of, right?
Yeah.
Like,
anytime an anime gets popular, eventually a game will be made about them. If you're lucky, it won't be a phone game.
Yep.
That's really what it comes down to nowadays.
And like, there's a bunch of monsters that can fight, but there's also a bunch of evil dudes that all have their own powers. So you got some boss fights and stuff. So yeah, could be great. Could be great. I don't know. We'll see more. Let's see, Michael. Just for you. We got the trailer for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot Daima Adventure Through the Demon Realm Part 2.
I'm very excited for this.
The launch trailer.
This is the ending of this specific show.
Yeah.
I haven't finished the first part. I keep meaning to do it. I've been so busy.
Yeah.
But this is the part that I was waiting for this part to come out specifically because of the climax of that show is so much fun that I actually really would like the idea of playing that and seeing it like in a really cool CGI art style
in that engine and everything.
Because I'm a big fan of the Dragon Ball stuff, and apparently there was a
no.
Sorry, I was about to say I'm a big fan of the Kakarot stuff. Is what I meant.
Yeah.
There was a tweet or something from them going like, yeah, there's more to come or whatever, and I don't know if they mean this because like what else does that mean type of thing. Like what else are they gonna like delve into Super maybe? Like I'm curious about.
I don't know.
Like it's crazy that this
I thought
DLC,
they already did everything. I thought this was the last thing they didn't do.
That was the thing. It was crazy to me that like this even happened because my theory for a long time was everything they did was like whatever the Dragon Ball Z like name was added to. That's why like the DLCs that were happening were still considered Dragon Ball Z movies until Super happened. But this isn't that. Like Daima is its own thing. So the fact they even did that might mean maybe they will just delve in the Super. Who knows? I'm really excited though. I really like the way this looks, and it's probably not that long as well, and I have no issues with that because
it's dramatic as shit.
The show wasn't that long either.
Yep.
So I'm also finally happy they're releasing the thing on Blu-ray because I've been waiting for ages to get it.
Yep. So, it's out the day we're recording this. So there you go. Let's see. If you're interested in Dragon Quest, different type of RPG, but still Toriyama, right? Dragon 100%. Quest 7 Reimagined has a demo that came out. So
okay. Is this one of those ones that like your stats would like carry over type of thing?
It's just the beginning of the game, and they basically in this they say like your save game data will transfer over into the main game when it comes out.
Yeah, I think they did that with the last one too.
Yeah. And also there's like a little costume you get for one of the people if you play this before the game comes out.
The blonde character, it seems unnatural to me compared to everybody else's
like quote unquote like Western character.
Yeah, because his face is just. His head almost seems too big for him.
Like everybody looks like Dragon Ball, and then he looks like Team America World Police.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And it's fucking weird.
Yeah,
I'm expecting him to go Matt Damon.
Yeah, it looks exactly like that. So
it's so fucking funny.
Yep, you can download that. I downloaded it, started playing it. When I don't know.
Apparently, you get a dress for a character if you play the demo. Is what it said.
Yep. We got a 10-minute walkthrough for the new Styx game, Styx Blades of Greed.
They still make Styx games?
Yep. This one's on the way, and it looks kind of interesting. They got to go over a lot of different things, a lot of kind of like sneaky, poisoning people and stabbing people and all the kind of cool Styx stuff. I watched the whole thing, and it was interesting. It's like a nice stealth game. I just appreciate when anybody makes a stealth game these days. So.
Yeah, they're much rarer nowadays.
And I know that world has a lot of stuff in it, and I've never actually beat one of the Styx games, but like
me neither. But that's because as much as I like a good stealth game, I'm not actually good at staying stealthy.
Yeah.
And these games are actually like the way the original Splinter Cells were, where you're like you got to be stealthy as fuck to actually play this game.
Yeah.
So yeah.
This is coming out February 19th. Like
okay,
right around the corner.
It's a lot sooner than I thought.
Yeah. Good stuff. Let's see. We got the trailer for Warhammer 40K Dawn of War 4. This one's going over the Orc faction, and it's like a little cutscene where they've got an Orc spaceship, which is basically just trash.
Yeah, it's just a lot of shit jammed together.
Like fighting, like attacking a Space Marine ship, and like they kind of get pushed back. It's funny because I noticed that they've got the sniper guy from Dawn of War 2 in here.
Okay.
He's this real. He says it showed up. He's this real '90s looking motherfucker. Let's see if I can find him in this trailer. That guy right there.
Oh yeah, that guy looks like he was drawn by Rob Liefeld at some point.
He's got Kano eyes, and he's got like the big swoopy hair on one side.
Yeah.
I forget what his name is, but yeah. I mean, this looks pretty interesting. It's weird because I got this confused with the Total War
one,
game that they announced at the Game Awards. That's
what I thought it was for a second until I saw Dawn of War 4. And I was like, oh, okay, they're still making Dawn of War 4s.
But it's a fun trailer. Like they evacuate their ship, and there's a part at the end where they're going down to the planet, and the Orc ship is crashing, and the Orc battle boss is like, "Crash faster! We gotta catch them!" and like hits a button to accelerate directly at the planet that they're going towards. And I'm like, yeah, I love those fucking dumbasses.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like when people were like, "Are you in the Warhammer?" I'm like, no, not really, but I get why people are really into Warhammer.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I skipped 2. I really liked 1, and then I didn't get into 2 or 3. So mostly because my computer wasn't good enough for 3, and 2 wasn't what I wanted. But we'll see.
It's funny with Dawn of War 4 coming out, and they're like, yeah, but we're also getting a Total War 1, and people are like, should I care about this?
There's a lot of. They're also making Space Marine 3 over at Saber.
That's
as well
true,
as there's a bunch of other Space Marine shit. So yeah, who knows?
I'm glad they're going straight into Space Marine 3 though, because that was a huge gap between 1 and 2.
They're not though. That studio, because Saber is making that weird John Carpenter game first.
Oh, that's right.
Toxic Commando.
Completely
and
forgot
then they'll
about
be
that.
doing 3. So
Okay, interesting.
We got a 5-minute thing about the mechanics of that Star Trek Voyager game that they're making, and basically talking about how like combat and stuff works. It was very technical. I think at the end of the day, it's interesting because you're not controlling the ship. You're telling your dudes what to do.
Yeah, you're a captain basically.
Yeah, but you can reroute power to different places, and apparently like the people that you assign to the different areas have like little special powers with cooldowns. And you can do all kinds of little stuff. I don't know. I'm interested in this. I'm mad though, Michael, because I don't like Voyager very much.
I was about to say Voyager is the weird one to do this with,
and I would like to play a Star Trek game that was like this, and I don't know why it has to be a fucking Voyager game. Like in a previous trailer, they showed off that you could make the decision about whether to kill Tuvix or not, and I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, I don't care about any of that. Like, if anything, they should have made like any of the other Star Trek ones. Although it would be way funnier if it was the Enterprise one, Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh yeah. You
get to be Scott Bakula.
In season 1 of Star Trek Enterprise, they don't even have transporters.
They don't.
I don't know why they didn't have it make a DS9 game where you do all the management stuff on the station, and then you do this shit with the or with the fucking
or even just
Defiant,
or even just an original Star Trek.
Yeah.
Like ship.
Yeah.
Like the way that was one of my favorite things about Lower Decks is you see a lot of original captains and stuff.
It is telling though that they didn't do this with any of the new ones.
Yeah.
It goes to show what the popularity of the new ones are, that they didn't do this with any of the new ones.
No,
so.
it wouldn't be fucking Strange. What is it? Strange New Worlds.
Yeah.
Like those are all action-y.
Discovery.
Yeah.
And this is an action game though. Yeah. Wait. Okay, we got to go. Must go faster. Let's see. I'm going to skip this one. This is fun. Chronos: The New Dawn, which I really liked from last year. The Bloober Team game they put out.
Oh yeah.
They made this little short because they have the suit from the game, and so it's somebody like in the suit in their offices answering, and basically it's like a bunch of people leaving messages saying like, "I need an easy mode for this game because it is a pretty punishing game."
Oh, okay.
And then the guy contacts the development team and is like, "Put an easy mode in the game," and they're all like, "Yeah." So they're going to be putting in a thing called the Temporal Diver mode early this year, which is basically an easier story mode because that game it's punishing, man. If you fuck up too much, you'll be out of resources. Like, I know how to play survival horror, so I know like be real stingy for the first 2 hours and you'll get a head start and you'll be okay. But like, I know that a lot of people probably were interested to know where the story went, but they were just like, well, it's too fucking hard. So
it's the hardest thing about the way, or not the hardest thing. It's the thing that a lot of people, I don't understand why devs don't understand.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of the gamers have gotten older. And so people just aren't as good at these things anymore, or even have the time.
Yeah,
they can't deal with punishing the way they used to, and the younger generations also don't have the time.
Very true. Let's see. In other kind of horror tinged news, we got the launch trailer for Pathologic 3. I was going to make Michael play Pathologic 3 instead of that Avatar game last week, but then I downloaded Pathologic 3 and went to play it. And I was like, oh, right. This game is like 85% text. And the other 15% is like slowly walking places while dying of thirst.
Yeah.
So
it's usually like the darkest thing ever.
Yeah.
And that's kind of its bread and butter type of thing.
But this is interesting. I played the demo for this, and like, you've got 13 days. You can like go back to other days. A lot of it is about like, you can individually diagnose and cure people of diseases. It's all The Bachelor, so they don't have the Harspecs or the
and by that he doesn't mean the show The Bachelor.
no, yeah.
You're not trying to date these people.
The Bachelor, who was the first character in the original. One thing I will say is that when I downloaded this, it was an Unreal Engine game, and it runs really, really well with everything jacked all the way up. So it seems interesting. But I think I would rather wait for like H-Bomber Guy to make a video that I could watch instead of actually playing the game, because these games are complicated and long and require an investment from you.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm playing Hyrule Warriors, where you hit the X button until Ganon dies. So
pretty much
there's no moral quandaries in Hyrule Warriors. Let's see. There was a horror game awards thing where they announced a bunch of stuff.
Oh, okay.
That happened over the holidays.
Yeah.
One of the things they announced was Dread Out 3. I've always been interested in Dread Out because it's this Indonesian horror game about like high school students. I remember playing Dread Out 2, and it was very bizarre.
Did we play one of those, or I remember you doing one of them, I think.
I remember doing one of them, I think, where I was like kiting a ghost in a circle with a cell phone, trying to take pictures of it. Like, I don't remember why.
I vaguely remember that. You might have did it with somebody else, but I remember watching or something, or either watching or being there. I can't remember.
But I think that might have been the remake of the first one. But I like it because they do Indonesian folk horror in these games. So.
Yeah, that's the thing I like about when horror is made by other countries. Is it's not just like zombies again. It's not just like slasher people.
Yep.
It's whatever like really cool thing like legends they have.
Yep. And it's coming 2026. So we got another kind of Vidoc for Chrysol, the Theater of Idols, which is the game that I really, really, really want to play, with the one with the Spanish iconography and the dolls that come at you. And they talk a lot about the...
Oh, we did Dread Out 2, and you and Tessa did the remake.
Oh, okay. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They talk about the enemies in here and how they have like the kind of the doll enemies, but then they also have like rock enemies that come from like inspired by like statues, and then these little like cherub like enemies that are inspired by like the wax melting on candles, because they'll have little flames on their heads.
Yeah, this game like is one of my more anticipated ones.
Yeah,
like, I think it's just really cool.
I don't know if you've noticed it, but all of the reload animations involve you putting blood into the guns.
Yeah,
like none of them are ammo. Also, it turns out that these weird puppet enemies, if you shoot them in the head, their heads just pop off, but then they keep trying to murder you.
Oh.
And if you knock them down, they don't die. They just get back up again. You have to keep shooting them with your blood guns until they catch on fire.
Oh,
is the only way to like really put them down for good.
So you can like get them down and then shoot them while they're down.
It looks like you just keep shooting them and eventually they might catch fire. So
that's fun. I wonder how the ammo system works, type of thing.
Good question.
It's like maybe a blood bag thing, possibly.
Could be. There's also a nemesis in this game. There's a giant, I think we've seen him in previous trailers. There's a gigantic like kind of doll, looks like a doll, but it's apparently like a reliquary. It's got like a bunch of different like things inside of it.
Yeah, I remember it from the first trailer.
Yeah, and it can't be killed. So you're running, you're hiding, you're trying to get away from it. I like a big nemesis.
Maybe you'll get a blood rocket launcher.
Yeah, or you have to fight it for the entire game, and then you finally get to throw it off the side of something at the end.
That'd be fun. No, this game looks fantastic. I'm actually super interested in this game.
Yeah, me too. It looks fantastic. I love the art style. I love the way the direction is going. And it looks like a big old fun action game.
Because even like the first trailer we saw, we were like, this is fucking interesting.
Yep. It's coming out sometime early 2026.
Okay.
Michael, there's a new Carmageddon game.
People still make those?
Carmageddon Rogue Shift. I didn't know it was a thing until I saw this. Apparently, they're like, yes, the world is full of zombies, so it's okay to blast people and get run over and stuff.
Sure,
and
I guess.
Okay. I haven't seen that red car with the spikes on the hood in a long time.
Yeah.
So
a very long time.
If you're interested, they're making a new Carmageddon. I'll let you know more when I know more. It was never really my thing in the first place, but
it does look kind of fun, though.
Yeah. It does look kind of batshit.
It's been a while since we've got a game that is like just a weapons on a car type game.
Yeah. Early 2026. Let's see. This is a very strange game that I found a trailer for called FPS Quest, where you're playing a game and you get tired of dying, and so you install a mod to cheat. And what it is that the more you kill, the higher your FPS goes.
Oh.
But then you use your FPS as your health and your ammo. So when you get hit or when you use bullets, it like uses your FPS, and the FPS of the game literally goes up and down as you're playing it. Like, and you've got like a thermal temperature gauge, like your video card is overheating. It's a very strange idea. It's a very like stripped down game, but like it's got like a bunch of cheats and stuff where you're obviously manipulating like the game code.
Fascinating.
And it's real weird.
Yeah, this is a really weird game, but I like the idea of it.
You can do like glitches that allow you to go like outside of the bounds of the level in order to get like a better like in order to bypass certain types of things.
Yeah.
It's really an interesting concept of a real meta kind of thing. I just hope it's fun.
Yeah, this is the thing. It's like it's so meta, but also like so many mechanics. I hope it all makes sense by why you're playing it.
Yeah. So
because we run into games where that sound really cool, and then you play it, and you're like, wait, this is actually really difficult.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. Oh boy. Okay, we're gonna skip a few more of these. Let's see. Actually, you know what? We're just gonna jump over to our last trailer, which is the console announcement trailer for 2XKO.
Oh yeah, I forgot this was happening.
So yeah, and in fact, I finally understand the game because they were showing a bunch of people playing it like a tournament, and somebody was doing a combo where they managed to kill both of the other players or both the other characters on the other side, and the announcers were like, "It's a 2XKO," and I'm like, "Oh, that's what that means.
That's why it's.
I wish you
that.
told me that 2 years ago. Like, I wish I'd seen that clip 2 years ago. I could have remembered the name of this game instead of having to like drill it in through repetition."
I think there's names for that like within in general because there's usually 3 fighters. So if you kill 2 guys at the same time,
yeah.
I want to say that's called Happy Birthday.
Okay.
And if you kill all three of them at the same time, I think that's a Merry Christmas, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
It's been a while. But there is an actual like thing that people call that.
Good news for you, Michael. You were going to have to play the latest Trails JRPG to be released, but it turns out that this game comes out next Tuesday.
Oh, fun.
So we're going to play some 2XKO and see what we think about it.
I am curious. I haven't really kept up with this the way my friends have.
Yep. Free to play on consoles, coming out on everything. It's been in the beta on the PC, and it's been out in the world, but the first season officially starts next week, so we'll get a chance to finally take a look and see how it goes.
I'll see if it has legs.
Yeah. Yeah. And then let's wrap it up. We got a few rapid fire things because we're already out of time. Path of Radiance Fire Emblem for the GameCube was put on the Switch 2 GameCube store last week.
Oh yeah, because the GameCube thing.
Yep. So that's out. This is an old story, and I'm sad, but that James Bond game got pushed back.
That sucks.
It was supposed to come out in March, and instead it's coming out in May, which isn't the worst. It's 2 months.
Not the worst. That gives you something to do in the summer.
I'd rather it be good. I'd rather it be good when it comes out than have it come out and need fixes.
100%.
So, let's see. Avowed is coming out on the PS5 February 17th. It's been a year.
I knew they couldn't resist.
I don't think there was any question about whether this was going to happen. It's been a year. The exclusivity window's over.
Yeah, and they need that money.
And Microsoft is putting Halo on the PlayStation. We're obviously not in a contentious time anymore.
Jeff, I'm having a hard time figuring out if I'm going to buy Halo on the PlayStation because it feels like if I do, I'm going to set on fire.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. Fucking Call of Duty sucks. Silent Hill is good, and Halo is on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Predator is good again. I don't know what to tell you about this. Yeah. I told you about this during the break, but next week, January 22nd at 10 a.m., Xbox is having a new Xbox Developer Direct. They're specifically going to be talking about Forza Horizon 6, and Fable.
I'm so happy we're finally going to, because we haven't really seen a lot of everything Fable-wise we've been shown for a long time is cinematic or pre-alpha, small bits of gameplay.
Oh, they're also showing off Beast of Reincarnation, which is that Game Freak game that was on that one Xbox thing. So be interesting to see what happens there.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So we'll finally get to see that Fable game. I mean, good Lord, I can't if that game is bad, if that Fable game they've been working on for 6 years is bad, oh, Xbox, you might as well just fucking end it. Just close it down, man.
Yeah, all us Fable fans feel like the ending of Fanboys, where they just look at each other when they walk into the Phantom Menace. What if it's bad?
Let's see. Xbox Game Pass this month is getting some big stuff. Star Wars Outlaws is already out, but later this month, Resident Evil Village, January 20th.
Oh, sweet.
So, also, that one of those Final Fantasy pixel remasters is coming out. That's already out.
It's the first one, I think.
Yep. Atomfall, Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, the Space Marine remaster. Lots of good stuff this month.
Those are very solid things.
Yep.
One of these days, I might get my Game Pass again because I haven't touched my Xbox in forever.
I get it.
This poor bastard.
Also on PlayStation, they're putting out a bunch of stuff. Most of this is trash, but Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth a year after it came out, and then also Resident Evil Village. So the PS Plus Advanced whatever game catalog is getting those.
I'm getting Ridge Racer though.
Yeah. And A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead.
Ridge Racer.
I played that with Tessa. So
I forgot about that they made a game.
Baldur's Gate 3 will not be on the Switch 2.
Oh, okay.
Sven Vincke was asked in an interview about it, and he basically said, we would love to look at it, but no. And people are reading between the lines to say, this is because they split with Hasbro, and Hasbro doesn't want to pay them anymore to port the game. So
that I also wouldn't be surprised if there's some stuff about the fact that it's a more family friendly console that Nintendo might have some reservations.
Maybe,
but that varies with
the Switch had hella fucking hentai games on it.
It did, but that's because they weren't paying attention, and they might be paying attention again. Did you see that? They had a listing for Dispatch on the Switch, and it has that that swimsuit art as part of it.
Oh,
but they edited the shit out of it.
Oh, really?
To make people less sexy looking. They add for Blonde Blazer's swimsuit, they added parts to her legs or whatever. And they closed the cleavage part, and they closed Flambe's open shorts thing that he had.
Okay.
They did a lot of weird censoring on it. It was really weird.
Nintendo. People are only playing this game. Have you played the game? The game has all kinds of sex and boobs and bad language in it, okay?
It was very funny.
It's not a PG rated game. Anyway, so yeah, sorry about that. Also, Hytale finally came out.
Is it out, or is it in beta still?
It's out. Well, it's in early access, but it's in early access.
Okay, which is good though, considering.
But the thing is, people might not know about that because it's not on Steam.
Oh, really?
You have to get it through their website. I know because I got it. I've got plans to take a look at it at a certain point, and it's very early. They only have an expedition mode. They don't have. There's supposed to be a campaign that's coming later, and there's a bunch of places in the game that have little work in progress signs, like it's on a wet floor or something.
Yeah,
so.
I don't. I'm happy that they're finally able to do it. So that's good for them.
But the good news is that from pre-orders and from post-launch orders, the developer was like, "We've secured the next 2 years of funding for this game."
That's good. Good for them
on launch. So yeah, Michael, here's a name I've not said to you in a long time. Peter Molyneux's final game is coming out in April.
He's alive?
Masters of Albion. I watched the trailer.
That sounds bad, but yeah, they generally didn't think that.
I watched the trailer for this, and I realized that I had seen this game before.
Oh, we did. We saw a trailer for this a while back, and then we made fun of him then.
Yep. It's a medieval fantasy world where you play as a giant hand that's going around picking up villagers and building villages. Crazy. I've never seen such a thing before. The big thing is that you can actually, inhabit people in the world and play the game from a little third person perspective.
That was the thing that we thought was interesting.
I think this game looks like poo-poo trash, but
oh no, it looks like it was made 20 years ago.
Yep.
Minimum.
But it's got a release date. It's coming April 22nd.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
That's a whole thing.
Well, shit, I guess.
Yep.
I guess that's happening.
And then also Poppy Playtime Chapter 5 got a release date, February 18th.
That thing got surprisingly popular. Mm-hmm. They all ended up in Fortnite, right?
I think so. Yeah. I remember playing the first one with Jason for an asylum.
Oh damn!
Because that was when the blue guy was chasing us.
That's right.
Yeah.
That one was really. I remember laughing really hard at that one.
Yeah, but that was like years ago.
That was years ago.
So they're still putting those out. And then let's wrap it up with a few fun things. Oh wait, actually I got one more. Okay, so Michael. Did you hear what fucking Pocket Pair is doing?
No.
You know what Pocket Pair is doing? They announced a new Pal World product this week. Do you know what it is?
No, I do not.
It's a one-on-one card game where you play your pals against each other.
Oh my god!
in an adversarial card game,
Jesus Christ,
which Nintendo does not have the exclusive rights to make card games.
No,
where you
they
play
don't.
Monsters against each other, but
fucking
dude,
that's pretty ballsy of them.
And one of the cards is just a picture of their asses all together. It says Nintendo.
It's called the Fuck You NO, but it has nothing to do with Nintendo.
I read this and I was like, good God. I mean, obviously some other company is making this for them. There's a whole other company that's part of the announcement, right?
Also, obviously, everything has a card game now.
Right.
So this isn't
right.
This isn't them probably saying a fuck you.
Yeah.
But somebody probably approached them saying, let's make a card game.
Yeah, but still.
It's in the middle of this going on, so that's what makes it even funnier.
Yeah. All right. I read this story. People are still trying to figure out an Easter egg in Red Dead Redemption 2.
I have heard of this.
Yes. Did you look at the details of it?
I've only heard up until a certain point.
It's fucking ridiculous. I watched this thing where it's there were spider webs in the game
that only show up during certain times.
Yes. It started by there is a picture, there is a thing on a lamppost or on a telegraph pole that looks like a spider, and if you put it on the map in a certain location, it looks like it lines up and tells you where to go to find all these spider webs. And so you find all those spider webs, and then I forget what happens next. It's the spider
found
webs,
a specific location based on that or something.
Oh, the spider webs send you to a location, and then it tells you to go north to the telegraph pole from another spider web that has N and a pole in it. And when you go to that pole, if you shoot the pole, it says go west 5 poles, it's hidden underneath the telegraph pole.
That's crazy.
The crazy person would do.
See, I didn't see it past that point.
And then if you go to that one and you shoot at it, it says northwest, and it has a picture of a guitar. And if you go northwest, there's a fort. And if you go into that fort, there's a guitar. And the guitar kind of points at this tower. And if you go up that tower towards the top, there's another guitar. And that guitar is pointing up. And if you go outside, you can get to the top of the tower. And if you go to the edge of the tower, you could see a little thing where there's 2 birds, and they're kind of pointing in a direction. And if you go way up, if you look into the wilderness, you can kind of see that there's a little bit of an area. And if you go to that area, two birds will fly up, and if you look up from where those two birds are, there is a mountain with a question mark on it.
What the fuck?
All this has been in Red Dead Redemption 2, apparently.
This whole time, apparently, by the way.
And nobody knows where to go next. Now, I have a theory, which I only know because I watched this.
That the 1800s Riddler is on the loose.
So when you look at like the shape that is made, if you plot out all of the directions that you have to go to get to the end of this, it kind of looks like a backwards question mark. So like, is there a point at the very bottom that is the next part of this? And why am I now invested in this and have to find out what happens?
See, the farthest I found out about the mystery was the center part where they found like a center area to find.
Yeah.
I had no idea any of that other stuff had happened.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy.
Fucking nuts.
What the actual fuck does it all mean?
Yeah.
I'm going to be mad if it has something to do with something they never ended up making.
Buy your Ovaltine. Drink your Ovaltine. A lousy commercial. Yeah. In other Grand Theft Auto news, the guy that...
I've seen this too, actually.
The guy that plays Michael, was he Rob Whitehoff?
Yeah.
Was live streaming with the guy that plays Gary Marzipan, John Marsden.
Yeah.
And apparently, like, it's just like somebody comes into the room while he's doing this, and they're like, hey, the cops are here. And he's like, oh, hey, guys, what's up? And they're like, yeah, you got swatted again. We just had to come over.
He knows their names and everything.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, Merry Christmas, guys. And he's like, hey, thanks. He's like, hey, look, I'm playing with the guy that plays John Marsden. They're like, that's cool.
He's like, do you want to say hi to him? I think is what he says.
And then, like, one of the cops is like, hey, you got a nice setup in here. And he's like, yeah, thanks. And then they just go, and he goes back, and he's like, man, people are fucking assholes.
Yeah. He's been swatted apparently like a shit ton of times.
Yeah.
To the point where he's probably like, they have a list probably like, did they call about this fucking guy again?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you better check if he's in trouble at first.
When live streamers get swatted all the time, it's like I've known a few others that they know the local cops.
Yeah.
Because they're like, hey, listen, this is going to happen. Please don't fucking knock my door down.
Destroy my house.
But our final story for today, Michael, is like the opposite of a swatting, and I love it so much.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen this.
No, I guess I haven't.
So a guy was playing Arc Raiders, and he got downed in Arc Raiders, and he was in his apartment, and he was yelling, help, 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 oh my God, I need help. And like his neighbor heard him and came up to his door and knocked on it and was like, hey, you guys okay in there? You guys is something going on? And he was like, help! And so then this guy takes a step back and fucking kicks the guy's front door. The Ring camera is destroyed at this point.
Oh, because
by
it's
him kicking the front door.
Yeah.
The guy says that like I was just playing Arc Raiders, and then I turned around and my front door was dented in from this guy trying to come in and help me. And I was like, oh, I had my headphones on.
Yeah. He also is going to have to pay for that.
Yes.
That deposit's gone, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But the idea that it's just like you're in your apartment screaming, help, help, I need help. And then your neighbor is like, somebody needs help in there.
Didn't you have something similar like this that somebody called the cops on you and Matt because you were screaming so loud?
Yes. When we were doing dojo intros for something, and it was like, I'll fucking kill you. And then it's like, as we finished up, we left, and I saw this cop car that was driving around, and I was like, I wonder if that car is going to my house. And then I was walking my dog, and it was like the car was going, and I was like, it seems like that car might be heading for my house. And then it was, and so I turned around, I came back to my house, and the cops were knocking on my front door, and I went to them, I was like, hey guys, sorry, I'm sure that somebody called because they heard yelling, and they were like, yeah. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm a YouTuber. We were doing like a skit or whatever. And they were just like, okay. And then they left. They didn't check to see if I was like, I could open the door to show you I lived here. And they were like, no need. You just said the word YouTuber. We're going to go. I was like, you didn't look at my ID. You didn't look at my anything. You
They're like, this happens.
Okay, I guess.
There's a lot of streamers out there. They probably run into that. It reminds me of an old Nick Swartzen joke where they're like, it was similar where they're playing games and like yelling a bunch of shit and making a bunch of noise. And their neighbor is like, I thought you were making gay porn this whole time. Instead of playing the Wii.
You know, it's funny though, because when we've had rage casts in here, this place has been so loud that I can't hear somebody talking like a foot and a half in front of me. And then I go outside and close the door, and it's just like perfect. Yeah. Like I got thick ass walls in this place. Which
is a good thing to have. I have the same with my townhouse, likely.
Yeah.
Especially with the amount of games I play, they should be happy about that.
That's it. We did it. First podcast. We did the first podcast of 2026.
We did it, guys.
We did it. Yeah.
We solved something. I don't know what it was.
We talked a lot of shit about. We didn't even talk. We talked some shit about AI. We talked a lot of shit about businesses.
Mostly businesses.
Yeah. It's going to be a weird year, Michael. I don't know what's going to happen, but my spider sense says it's not going to be great.
Yeah, it's not going to be great. Randy Pitchford's going to become popular again. That's the whole thing. No one wants that.
Randy Pitchford became the governor of Texas somehow. I don't know how that happened.
That's a terrifying thought. He's going to do magic tricks for everybody.
Yeah.
He's like, my fellow Texans.
Yes.
Pick a card.
I don't know. I kind of almost rather have Randy Pitchford. Anyway, I'm starting to veer off into politics. Michael, where can people find you? We're not over here. Did we do that part? We didn't do that part yet.
No, not yet.
Okay.
You can find me on OneOfUs.net. We do a lot of movie television reviews. You can actually find a review for Is This Thing On. I'm not on it, but they did talk about it there. You can also find me on YouTube under Supermaniacs. It's a Superman podcast I do sometimes.
Cool.
On Mondays.
And yeah, we're back in it. We should be doing a podcast every week unless something terrible happens. So,
like Randy Pitchford comes.
Like Randy Pitchford gets elected and makes me his lieutenant governor. Like, but why? I talk so much shit about you. He's like, that's why I need you,
because you're a straight shooter, Jeff.
And I'm like, fuck.
Here,
damn it.
I've assigned you a claptrap.
Son of a bitch. Oh, all right. I accept, Governor Pitchford. I'll do it for the good of
something.
Myself. All right, bye.